All right. Good morning, afternoon, actually. My name's Angel Rivera. Whoops, my mic's moving around. I am the host of Angel in the Afternoon, and I hope everyone's able to join me today on my birthday. It's it's 1 o'clock Eastern. It's August 31st, 2023. Whoops. And I'm gonna give everybody a few minutes to get on because things. It might take people a few minutes, but yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to be here. Really excited to have this finally, my brand new mic. So, hmm. So let me know how it sounds, how it feels, stuff like that. So let me set up for the show first. First, let me make sure. Oh, my phone's here. Let me make sure everybody knows I'm live first, and then we'll do that. We'll do that. All right. So, whoops. Oh, it's not me. Oh, thank you, Desert Mantis. Appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. I mean, it's been a long year. Hell, I'm turning 37 today, so there's that. Turning 37 years old, and I still have to let people know that I'm live, and then we'll probably take a few minutes, and then we'll get started. Oops, I fucked up. Mm. All right, well that's that. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I got this mic on sale, it's $100 mic, but it's the HyperX Dualcast. Let me see if I can pick this up real quick. I mean, that's what I got. So that's the mic I got. It costs it's $100 mic usually, but I was able to get it on sale for $69. So I got a bargain. I thought, but this mic sounds fantastic, or at least in my opinion. So teddy bear alert. Well then, I gotta get. I haven't even bothered getting started yet, so that works out real well. If I'm not able to get started, I mean, why in the world? How the world am I supposed to expect people to? So I need a couple more minutes to, get started. My mic keeps moving. I keep moving my chair. Oh, that's why my mic keeps moving. Let's see. Let's go to bookmarks. Got a bunch of shit on my bookmarks I want to talk about today. You don't look a day over 35, Angel. Well, thank you. But I am over 35 by a couple of years, in fact. So I am 35. So I'm 37, actually. Why am I saying I'm 35? I just said I was 37. Excuse me. All over the place I am today. Hmm. Where should we get started? Oh, we did. This is all from last week. Hold on. I gotta delete all these old bookmarks that I have, which I'm not really using anymore. That'd be nice if I did that. Let's see here. That's right, sticking it to the man. When I initially started doing this, I didn't really take it that seriously, and I thought to myself, what difference does it make? Nobody's gonna watch me or listen to me anyway, so why bother like investing in this? But it's been a couple of years, and I'm like, look, if I'm going to do this correctly, I might as well invest in it, spend a little bit of money on this. So eventually, I also plan to get like a new computer and stuff, and maybe even new headphones because these are kind of old too. So yeah, that's my thought process and getting bored. Okay, well, give me a minute. I'm almost there. I'm about to get started. Thank you, Rick. I greatly appreciate the birthday wishes. I mean, oops. This episode will focus a lot on my birthday, obviously. I mean, I'm turning 37, and I'll also be spending a lot of time with responding to a bunch of shitty YouTube commentators. So that ought to be fun. So we're about to get started in a minute here. So where's my phone at? Oh, here it is. So let's see, where are we doing? Ah, I know. This is where I'm gonna get started. Thank you, Indy. Greatly appreciate the birthday wishes, and let me adjust this a little bit. Excuse me 1 second. There you go. That's better. And I nearly spilled my water. Not a good start to the day. So let's see. Might as well get started with this because in fact, let me make this bigger. Whoops, because nobody can see it clearly. Is this big enough? No, it's not. Jeez, I mean, how big? All right. What an upgrade. Well, thank you. I mean, yeah, like I was saying before, I never took it seriously. I never, I was like, oh, fuck it. What difference does it make? No one's going to listen to me anyways. Whoops, sorry. Then all of a sudden, I realized I got some audience, and I was listening to my videos like, I sound terrible. Like I had either this or the other one where I had the thing here and the other headphones with like the microphone right here. It sounded terrible too. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? I mean, I sound awful. I don't want to promote this garbage because I sound terrible. So I'm like, you know what? I have some birthday money, a little extra money. Let me invest in a microphone, a proper one. And here we are today, I mean, I needed to do this if I'm going to take the next step in this career. And I made a dime off this, but doing this basically for fun, and sounding more professional. So that's why I decided to get this. Anyways, I'm gonna get started now because I'm been 8 minutes and I've said nothing, and I'm boring desert. So let's do this. All right. So this first video I want to play is from Kyle Kalinske, of course. And what's funny is this. I want to thank Dirtbag Leftist One Postuopolis for clipping this out because what happened yesterday, I was cooking dinner last night or yesterday afternoon, and and I happened to be playing this Kyle Kalinske video starts playing. It's like whatever, I'll listen to it. He admits. Look, I'm going to read it to you guys because Kyle Kalinske admits that Trump's prosecutions are politically targeted, but then goes on to say there will only be consequences at the ballot for Republicans who hinder prosecution. Why not for Democrats using the Justice Department to politically target adversaries? I tweeted this. I tweeted the full video out and asking Dirtbag Left to actually clip this out because I was amazed by this. When I first heard him say this and I'm cooking dinner, I'm like, what the fuck did he just say? Did he just say that he knows that Trump prosecutions are politically targeted, but at the same time he said that's a good thing? Like, did he really just say that? I mean, he did. He did. I rewinded it. It's like, yeah, that's what he said. Desert says next time you get yourself a suit and a tie. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm wearing this Saratoga shirt from Saratoga, New York. My mother went up to Saratoga, did a horse track with her boyfriend, and she got this shirt for herself. But unfortunately, it was way too big for her. So she's like, "Oh, here, you wear it." I was like, "Sure, I'll wear it." nice shirt. But yeah, I mean, I never really thought about wearing a suit and a tie. I mean, I might wear a collar shirt every once in a while, but a suit and a tie, and maybe in the winter months because it does get cold up here, but not now. I mean, it's really hot in the summer and all that. So I'm like, okay, now let's play this. It already played. Hold on. So it's a minute long. So let's watch Kyle make an ass out of himself and basically admits that these prosecutions are political. But it's a good thing because we need to hold Trump accountable. That's basically what his argument is here.
As a result, Republicans are looking at ways to insert provisions in government funding legislation that would hinder federal and state prosecutors who have secured indictments for Trump based on unproven claims that he's being politically targeted. Let me just pause there. Of course this is political. Now, it also happens to be correct. Like, he committed 91 crimes, and they're going...
You see what he just said? Of course they're political. Let me go back.
Like, he committed 91 crimes. Of course this is political.
Of course this is political. Of course it is. It's political. Let's try that. Let's hear that again.
Being politically targeted. Let me just pause there. Of course this is political.
Of course this is political. It's very important to understand that. He says it's political.
Now, it also happens to be correct.
It happens to be correct. It's political, but at the same time, it's correct. Let him keep going a little bit.
He committed 91 crimes.
No, he didn't commit 91 crimes. He was indicted. He wasn't convicted. There's no conviction. Like, he's conflating conviction and indictment. There's two different things. Indictment is step one. Conviction is nearly the final step. The next step after that is the sentencing hearing, which is the last thing, but if he's found guilty, of course. But no, he did not commit 91 crimes. He's allegedly committed 91 crimes. Of course, Kyle is like way too lazy to understand the difference, and he's also a partisan hack.
And they're going after him for 91 crimes. But if Trump didn't run for president again, there's a very high likelihood they just wouldn't have brought the charges.
See, there goes again. He's right again. Get a load of what he says. Good.
Again, there's a very high likelihood they 91 crimes. But if Trump didn't run for president again,
hold.
There's a very high likelihood they just wouldn't have brought the charges.
Yes, exactly, Kyle. It's political. It's fucking political. Like, what's wrong with you? He acts like, like, oh no. Oh, thank you, Sean. Sean, greatly appreciate the happy birthday wish. Thank you for joining me here. They're political, and he's like, oh well, if Trump didn't run, then by definition he wasn't going to be a prosecutor. Of course not. He ran, and Trump is leading in the polls, and they're desperate. That's why these prosecutions are happening. But Kyle is acting like, oh no, there's no connection between the two. I mean, we're trying to hold him accountable. My ass.
Because they feel like he's out of sight, out of mind, forget about it. We're not going to break the precedent of not going after former presidents. Yeah, so it is political, because they're like, well, now he gives us no choice but to go after him. But they should have gone after him no matter what.
Oh, they should have gone after him no matter what. No matter what, guys, should have gone after him. Oh my God, look at that. That's he's like he's so smug and arrogant about it. Like, he should have gone after him no matter what. Based on what? You have nothing.
So I think it both is political, but it's also correct.
It's political and it's also correct. So see, Kyle Kulinski wants political prosecutions, as long as it hurts the Republicans, not the Democrats. Let's say if, I don't know, Trump or any future Republican president decides to go after Biden, then Kyle Kulinski will have a meltdown. And he'll talk about how terrible it is because it's political prosecutions. So, yep, he's just a hack. Just a hack. Let's finish this 15 seconds.
Way it's like, all right, by all means, go ahead. I'm your Huckleberry. You want to go for it? You want to try to defund the prosecutors in a naked attempt to protect Trump? Let me know how that works out for you, because there would be consequences for that at the ballot box.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it, man.
All right, so that's that. But Kyle's worried about, or not worried, but he's like concern trolling for the Republicans. Like, oh, well, there's going to be political consequences for you to try to defund these prosecutors. Except, what about political consequences for the Democrats for obvious political prosecutions, as you just admitted to? No, he doesn't even consider that possibility. And he's like, no, it's the Republicans only want to be held accountable for this. So, yep. No. So, nope. According to Partisan Hack here, nope, there's no way it's going to happen. So, let's see.
As a result, Republicans
Oops,
are
sorry about that. Didn't mean to replay that. We got more. I wanted to play this too. We got more from our favorite YouTube commentator. Looks like an old dad. Look at him. Hold on a second. Oops. Oh, excuse me 1 second. Well, I need to be excused for 1 second. My mother's bringing me some food for my birthday, so I'm gonna need to go help her with the food, and I'll be right back. So just bear with me 1 second here. Thank you. Right back.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Indy. Yeah, I decided to jump in. I saw Angels had to take a break for his mom and doing a thing, so figured I'd come in, say hi, wish him a happy birthday personally because I am available. I can jump back into the studio and see how everyone's doing. Fred Edward, Desert Mantis, Sean Miller. Good to see everybody here. Of course, Restream is lying to us and only saying there are 3 people watching, and there's at least 6. So screw you, Restream. Hold on. Uh-oh. I'm pumping something through. Shit. How about that? Turn that off. All right. Now we got it. I turned it off. Cool. Okay. So Kyle Kulinski is a loser. Kyle Kulinski has frosted hair. Kyle Kulinski, I don't even know why we bother talking about him anymore. But anyway, that's what Angel likes to talk about. So we're going to be here talking about Kyle and what a clown show he is and how great Dirtbag Leftist is for cutting out all the stuff that exposes what a clown show he really is. Yes, he's a partisan hack for 100 different reasons, primarily because, and let me switch off of the screen temporarily. So our man is partisan and he's hacky. Why is Kyle Kulinski a partisan hack? Let's see. Let us count the ways. Well, let's see. He wanted to make Trump political, and that's what, he knows that it's political, yet he wants to prosecute anyway. And that's Angel's point. So that when it does come time and the Republicans, once they do get power, are going to want to prosecute Joe Biden, assuming Joe Biden is still alive at that time. Let's go, Brandon. So, yeah, if that's going to happen, and when that happens, is he going to have a problem with that, or is he going to be cool with them doing the investigation? Because I would be perfectly cool with them investigating Joe Biden for all of his crimes, including opening up his files at the University of Delaware when it comes to Tara Reade. I would also love to see them investigate what's happening with his Chinese partner and Tony Bobulinski. Yes, the all-knowing, ever-present Indy is here. Yes, folks. Wow. So many things. I don't really like to talk about content creators that really simp for Democrats anymore, because we don't. And to give them any attention, honestly, is a problem for me. I would rather actually amplify the independent content creators that are doing the work, that are reporting on actual corruption, that are holding both parties and all of the powerful and wealthy accountable equally. And this guy clearly does not. So let's see. This is the latest. I know that his wife Crystal just had something to say, and yet again was shitting on Cornel West. Not looking. Look, I'm a team none of the above, and I'll be very clear and frank and honest and open about the fact that I don't believe in any of the presidential candidates, and that upsets everybody just about. But I think that we are past the point of having anyone to put any hope in at this point. Unfortunately, I think we're way too far gone. The system is totally corrupted, and anyone that gets in that position is going to be corrupted and have to make some awful, awful decisions that are going to cause people to have to be displaced, to die, to whatever it is, because they're at the behest of corporate America, of the military-industrial complex, of the big pharma. I mean, this is what Convo talks about. Pasta's been talking about. Jimmy Dore has been talking about. Shout out to Jimmy Dore. What a great show. Got to see Jimmy Dore in New York City on Friday. That was a lot of fun. Also as well on Sunday. Took the wife. And the wife got to meet Steph for a second. And I had my shirt on and Steph goes, "Hey, Indie Media Today." I wish I had that recorded. It was a wonderful thing. So what else is on Angel's docket for today? Angel's mom, I do hope that Angel's mom brought it up for the whole class. I love that new mic of Angel's. Oh, look at the cute teddy bear on the bed. Oh, dude, look at that. Love it. He's got the picture. I think that's the dog in the pool up there. He likes the puppy. That's his girlfriend's dog. So let's what do you guys want to talk about today? Let's see. We got boats smashing and other boats coming up tomorrow night. Tonight we've got Politically Homeless, and I'm actually making thumbnail. I got to make the streams for Rockfin and Rumble for Politically Homeless. Kreb and Chris will be back this week. I think they were back last Thursday as well. So that show is back doing its thing. Tomorrow, Tara, I think, is going to again take another week off. Thankfully, Reef is home now. Reef is okay. We'll be able to do INN News next week. If Misty is available for Bitch on Saturday night, we'll be doing Bitch with Comrade Misty. Tomorrow night, like I said, it'll be Boats. Sunday night, as you know, for those who watch How Do We Miss That, we're actually going to take the month of September off from How Do We Miss That. So I've been doing the show with Snow Himbo called Nobody Wants to Work Anymore. And we've been making fun of the job market, of HR stuff, of how difficult it is, actually. Hey, there he is. What's up, bro? Yeah,
hey, Indy. Thank you for covering for me.
I've been playing middle reliever here to be able to.
Thank you for covering for me. I mean, it was like a long time. Like, oh shit, my mother like, oh, take your time. It's like, I'm streaming. What do you want from me?
No worries, brother. Happy birthday to our brother Angel. All right,
thank you.
I'm gonna hand the reins back to Angel. Everybody, check out all the INN shows. And by the way, there are super chats. If you want to super chat Angel, I'll throw him a couple bucks on his Cash App or whatever if you hook him up. So thanks everybody. Have a great one. All
right, thank you, Indy. Thank you. So thank you to Indy for covering for me again. Greatly appreciate it. So I hope Angel's mom brought enough for the whole class. Actually, she brought me Chuck's wings. I'm not sure if you're guys from the Northeast, you might know what Chuck's is. I don't know if he's around the country or not. But there's Chuck's buffalo wings, which are delicious, my favorite wings. So yeah, that's what she brought me, and I think she brought 10, which is enough for me. So unfortunately, no, there's not enough for the class, but there is enough. Hey, Desert, Saratoga. But yeah, I appreciate Indy covering for me, while I was gone, I mean, it took a lot longer than I thought it would, so. Oh, no, I cooked yesterday, so I'm eating some leftovers and having the hot buffalo wings too, so. Yeah, there's Chuck's Buffalo Wings. They're here in the Northeast a lot, but I don't know if they're around the country. Maybe they are. So I'm sure if you guys have heard of it, good. They're delicious. My favorite buffalo wings in the market. But but where was I? Oh, that's right. Here talking about. This is what I wanted to talk about. Kyle looks like an old dad. Like
He's
he's
not
like this old, this old dad. Like his hair is disheveled. He looks like he's like Crystal Ball's kids are giving him a hard time or something. I mean, like, ugh, come on, man. That's why I don't want. Why is this like this? I don't want anything, So, that looks better. So, yeah. So let's read this again. Thank you for Dirtbag One for clipping these out because I don't know if I could stand watching an entire video of Kyle these days. Kyle Kalinske says the bar has been lowered so much that Biden looks like an absolute. You're gonna have to excuse me 1 second again. Sorry, but hold on a second because why is this connected? Like, I had a random Bluetooth thing connect to my computer for some reason. Whoops! No! Don't forget. Just get rid of it. There you go. I had like a random like Bluetooth headphone connect to my computer for some reason. I'm not sure who's doing it, but so let's see. I had dreams of opening a restaurant long ago. I actually can cook. I actually cook Spanish food pretty good, but I don't ever dream about really opening a restaurant. So that's why I'm kind of in like one of these things where I just cook for myself and my family, not for other pricks who are going to complain about my food, be pretentious and shit. So nope. All right, so let's play this real quick. Duopolists are the ones falling for this garbage and lowering the bar. Yep. So let's watch Stepdad Kyle here or Kendall Kyle here do this.
Biden does not have a high approval rating. Biden has not been doing based shit much recently. There was a time where I think he went on a good.
What is base? I mean, base shit. Like, what is he? A child or something? Like, again, I don't understand based. It's like he's like a dessert. I have cake and ice cream already, so I'll probably eat that right after the stream. I'm gonna have dinner and then I'm probably gonna eat cake and ice cream. So that's my dessert. But based, I mean, it's like he's some kind of like young teenager. He must have heard Crystal Ball's kids saying based all the time. That's why he started saying it.
Good streak and got some good legislation passed, but recently it's been a lot more lazy. You no longer have Ron Klain, who was certainly a more progressive chief of staff. Now you got this corporate lobbyist goon who's running the show. And it's clear, it shows in the action. So Biden's not doing a bang-up job here. But at the same time, the bar has now been lowered so much that he looked like an absolute hero compared to what's going on in the Republican Party. They're sort of leaning into a lot of these crazy ideas politically.
Hero? Like, Joe Biden looks like a hero to the Democratic Party? Or no, to like, independents? Like, really? Like, no, I mean, what is he at, 42%? Joe Biden's poll numbers right now? Hold on. Biden poll numbers. Let's see. The latest approval rating for Biden is at 40%. It was just 4 points higher than 36% he hit in 2022. The survey has some heartbreaking news to Democrats as well. So the most recent polling has Biden at 40%. 40%. Not 20, not 50, not 60, 40. He's way underwater. So no, I mean, he's not a hero to most Americans, Kyle. Sorry to inform you, buddy.
Far-right ideas when it comes to abortion. And this, I mean, just, they left the lane wide open for Biden. So just dribble on in and
Jeez, my fingers smell like the buffalo wings.
The world's easiest layup. So Biden and his team, they cut this ad, watch.
The ad, which by the way sucks. I mean, it's a pro-abortion ad and attacks Republicans for being anti-abortion, which again, it's classic SJW politics. So Doesn't matter. Kyle loves it all of a sudden. So, and before he hated SJW politics, and now he loves it. He was like, Joe Biden's a hero.
Look, it's a good ad.
Yeah, it's a good ad. Ron Klain was a jackass. Which video? Wait, I saw a video. I might play it next, where Kyle Kulinski claims that Ron Klain was a progressive chief of staff. Was it? Did I miss it? Was it this one? I think it might be another one I'm playing later. But he says that Ron Klain, the chief of staff, the first chief of staff for Biden, was a progressive. So I don't. It wasn't he like a corporate lobbyist or something? So how is he progressive? I don't know, but well,
The normies are going to drool over themselves over that ad. There's no doubt about it. Now, under Obama, they had a supermajority.
excuse me 1 second. Sorry. Well, sorry about that. Apparently, my nephew needed that table, and here we go. Unbelievable. So annoying. He did? I might have missed it. I might have probably spaced out or something. Hold on.
And they could have and should have.
I might have missed it. Hold on. Let me replay.
Biden does not have a high approval rating. Biden has not been doing based shit much recently. There was a time where I think he went on a good streak and got some good legislation passed, but recently it's been a lot more lazy. You know, you no longer have Ron Klain, who was certainly a more progressive chief of staff.
He did say, there it is.
Now you got this.
Wasn't he a corporate lobbyist? Hold on, let me see. Ron Klain is an American attorney, political consultant, and former lobbyist who served in the White House chief of staff under President Joe Biden from 2021 to 2023. A Democrat, previously chief of staff to two vice presidents, Al Gore, 1995-1999, and Biden from 2009-2011. So, yeah, he was a corporate lobbyist. He's a lobbyist. Going to thank Carlos. Thank you for the happy birthday. Greatly appreciate it. So, the silence is better than listening to Kyle. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's why I don't want to play full videos of his anymore, because I get sick of him even. Oh, yeah, let's get to this dude. This is Dr. Shiva, who's running for president, and he's a gigantic prick, an asshole, whatever you want to call him. He talked shit about Jimmy Dore here in this clip. He went on Sabby Sab's show, which he's awesome, and started talking shit about Jimmy Dore. And he's also talked shit about people in INN. So let's watch this first, and then It's a minute long, and then I'll discuss.
Jimmy Dore, like, have you been on Jimmy Dore's show?
No, Jimmy Dore won't put me on because he thinks Robert Kennedy's the best thing since sliced bread, and Dore needs to be
No, he
slapped.
doesn't. Jimmy Dore didn't say that at all. He's not like he's all of a sudden, RFK Jr. stan. He's not.
Upside the fucking head.
Huh?
Why don't
No, seriously. No, because when I exposed Kennedy, Jimmy Dore, this is what I'm saying. I am very uncompromising on this. Like, if I'm out here and all the work I've done, these people do not cover me. Either they're jealous or they know, wait a minute, this guy's truly independent. But
What are you talking about? This dude is like, he's just ridiculous. He's running for president, but he's like,
fucking Jimmy Dore was endorsing Kennedy.
No, he wasn't. He never endorsed Kennedy.
Kennedy's not a fighter. He supported lockdowns in the middle of 2020. Everyone should go look.
Jimmy said he's supporting Cornel West.
Well, let's see. He was speaking and maybe now he's shifting a little bit because people have been calling him out. But if he's gonna put Cornell on, he should put me on. But he knows a day. Talk to me.
I think he would. I mean,
Okay,
Jimmy's brought on pretty controversial.
Well, let's see, Sabrina. Let's test him. No, test him. No, write to him and test him. Let's test him. So, Jimmy Dore, if you're listening, and if you're not a pussy, put me on.
If you're not a pussy, put me on. Like this, is he a troll? Dr. Shiva, that motherfucking name I might butcher, but I'm not going to say, claims Jimmy Dore doesn't want him on his show and theorizes why. So that's the full video right here. I had no idea this dude was until yesterday when I came across these clips. So
I maybe got 2 hours sleep, 2020. Because don't pussyfoot around, because I'm a ground activist. And we have created a movement. It's global right now. And I've done everything beyond the call of duty. It was in 2020. I mean, if you go back in 2020, I maybe got 2 hours sleep, 2020 per day. It was like a PhD thesis exposing the election.
yeah, this interview is terrible. I mean, he's just a me kind of dude. And even though he's running for president, but he's just a me type of dude. And I can't stand that. Oops. I had to adjust this. I just can't stand that. It's like me. And oh yeah, by the way, Jimmy Dore, you won't have me on. You're a fucking pussy. We also had some issues with him. INN has some issues with him too, which I'll get to in a minute. But let's finish this clip.
Election systems. I was fighting in federal court by myself, doing my own briefs and running my company. I mean, the Herculean shit we did in our movement, just to give credit where it's due, was extraordinary. I didn't see Dore one instant supporting us. I mean, we're the ones who exposed the entire censorship infrastructure to the world. 500 million people. None of these guys were out there because I keep repeating, they're either jealous or they know that, wait a minute, Shiva's not in the left or the right camp. We can't control him. And that's a fundamental issue, Sabrina. They do not want independent movements. If you and I went out today and we did a really good demonstration, right, on censorship, right, and it wasn't endorsed by the MAGA left or the MAGA right, it's not going to be covered, period. You have to build a movement on working people bottoms up who really understand these principles. Otherwise, it's always going to be wishy-washy. You say it'll be the next version of Bernie people follow, the next version of Tulsi Gabbard, the next version. You have to understand the politics. And that's why, when I created this base, I used to teach system science at MIT. And then I realized these systems principles are what the elites learn. And that's what they use to manipulate people for power, profit, control. But without these fundamental principles, people are always going to recur.
La. I mean, I kind of lost track of what he was saying. I spaced out there, so it doesn't matter. He's an asshole. Let's see. Sean Miller says in the Tourette style swearing was weird. Yeah, it's like he's constantly, it doesn't make sense when he's like fuck and don't be a pussy, and it feels like kind of random, like I hate this table. Like he's he's trying to look for attention instead of actually have a platform. Carlos says, I was at Jimmy's NYC show last Friday and I shook Russell from Due Dissident's hand. Yeah, I that's good, but I was like, yeah, I wish I can go to these shows, but I can't because I'm usually busy at night. So especially during weekdays. Maybe if there's a weekend, if he's in the Northeast, I could probably, go to one of those shows. Damn, I wish I could have gone to that New York City show, especially. So, yeah, this dude's an absolute prick. I mean, we've had some issues with him too because Lucy and Crab from INN is supposed to interview him, but they couldn't. It was an emergency, some kind of issue, so they couldn't do it. So they tried to reschedule with him, and he was a prick. And then he attacks Lucy on Twitter. So he's just a gigantic asshole motherfucker. So I don't particularly care about him. So yeah, so fuck him. He's just a prick. So yeah, fuck this guy. Sabby did a great job as usual, but I wouldn't have put up with him long. I wouldn't put up with this asshole that long. It was just like, nope. All right, so let's watch this video. This is from Shitlib Joe from INN. Oprah and The Rock really care. Well, let's watch this. I haven't seen this yet. The Rock.
We were so concerned about what was happening in Maui that we were texting back and forth. And I read this article that Dolly Parton had given money in her community. And I said, I think this is the answer. You said, I think that's the answer.
I said, I love it.
And so we have created the People's Fund of Maui that will put money directly in the hands of the people who need it right now. So if you send a donation, just click where you see below and send a donation. That money is going to go to one of many residents who have been displaced in Maui.
Really?
Guaranteed.
That's right. And I know a lot of people out there, as Oprah and I have been finding, are just having a hard time trusting where the money goes. What organization should I send money to? How can I help? In this case, the fund that we created with a lot of hard work from a lot of hardworking people who all care about these people of Maui. As Oprah was saying, it is a clean, direct from you directly to their hands and right away with some...
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, you donate to this organization that was just started, People Fund of Maui, and somehow these people will get the money immediately. There's no overhead. There's no salaries being paid to the people running it. Nothing. It just, whenever you donate, it goes directly to the people of Maui. Yeah, who believes this bullshit?
Some real immediacy, because as we're finding, as you guys around the world know, with disasters like this, the number one need is money.
Is money. Is money.
In hand.
And so people being able to have their own agency, being able to make decisions for themselves about what they need and what their family needs, that's our goal, is to get that to the people now. And so we appreciate any support that you can give all the people who were calling me and texting me and messaging me and saying, what do I do? What do I do? This is what you do.
Like, nobody...
No.
The People's Fund of Maui.
Yeah, we can't spare a few $1 billion ourselves, even though Oprah's a billionaire and The Rock is a multi-millionaire, I mean, from Hollywood. They can't spare any of their own money. Forget that. They can't spare a goddamn part of their own money. But they can beg people for money in order to allegedly give it to people to the people of Maui when there's no evidence that this money's even going to go to them. So it seems like another grift from Oprah Winfrey and The Rock. So let's see. Why you see my face here? Whoops, did I mess up? Oh yes, I did mess up. Okay. There you go. Damn, I wish I could have gone to that Jimmy Dore show in New York. Money's tight for me right now, so just sucks that I couldn't make it. But so let's go to. I found. Actually, no, I didn't find. I happened again to. I have what's that I'm looking for? I have the autoplay on, so videos randomly play while I do chores and stuff like that. So I had this TYT video happened to be playing, and I found it very interesting because it's about the media and where the media is. You know, it's a media watchdog group allegedly, and they rated a bunch of media organizations, including a lot of online media too got rated in this. Let's get rid of that. A lot of online media got rated in this news in this chart they did. So let's see, where is it? Ah, here it is. Watchdogs startup. La la la. All right, so let's do this because here we go. Of course, you know, how dare I use an ad blocker? I don't want to. I don't want to see your fucking ads, but whatever. And I need to read this article, so that's why. So yep. So let's see here. So let's wait a minute. So this is the chart that TYT has an issue with. Hold on, let me see. Let me do that instead. How about that, Angel? And Desert says, "Why do Maui people need more money? I thought Biden gave them $700." Oh, there's another thing from the White House. I think it was yesterday. They did FEMA. The head of FEMA was talking and is like, "Oh no, we have no intention of giving giving the people of Maui any more money. This $700." But meanwhile, Biden is asking another $20 billion for Ukraine. Americans get $700 a pop, or these people in Maui, while Ukraine gets another $20 billion on top of whatever money they have already. Unbelievable. So this is the chart. Oops. And here's TYT. They're right there. It says opinion or wide variation in reliability. So in other words, and they're also to the left. Actually, I should probably read this article first so we can understand. Okay. Questions related to journalism bias, blah, 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 blah. You know what? On second thought, I'm going to let the Young Turks explain it because Anna has a little bit of a meltdown here because she's mad about how this news organization is rated. India's, I was just going to talk about that. Look who's on this list, though. Thank you for bringing it up. Revolutionary Blackout Network. They're right there. They're at, looks like, right under 24.0, and they are, according to this, most extreme left. The Young Turks are hyper-partisan left, according to this. Revolutionary Blackout Network is most extreme left, and it says they're here. Selective or incomplete story, unfair persuasion / propaganda. So in other words, they're propaganda outlet. They're supposedly Revolutionary Blackout Network or propaganda outlet, according to this media watchdog group. TYT is hyper-partisan left, and they are opinion of wide variation and reliability. Yeah, good question. Where is INN? We're not in this list. And I checked too. I thought when I saw this, I'm like, maybe we're listed here. INN's listed here somewhere. Nope. We're not there. Not yet. We're not in the radar of these media watchdog fuckers. But we will be. Just like Revolutionary Blackout Network is, we will be. So allegedly Revolutionary Blackout Network is propaganda, and they use unfair persuasion and they do selective coverage or cherry picking. So yeah, that's bullshit, but this media watchdog group is obviously full of crap. But I'm going to let TYT explain more because they explain it pretty well, I thought. I just don't feel like reading that boring article from Mediaite. Then towards the end, Anna has a little meltdown here, which is funny. So let's watch them explain it.
Study by
Also, Anna has a little bit of conspiracy theory on why TYT was rated the way it was rated. So
Fontes Media claims to reveal biases among media sources, showing news organizations and where they stand in terms of their overall source reliability, Cenk. And TYT, by the way, TYT meaning the main show, along with many other programs on this network, were included in this media bias report. Interesting. So let's take a look at the chart overall, including all of the sources that were looked at and essentially scaled in this graph that you're watching. So the chart rates publications on two separate criteria: reliability and
excuse me 1 second. I just got bit by some goddamn. Oh God, excuse me. Excuse me, sorry about that. Got bit by some goddamn yellow jack fly. Somehow it got in my shirt. Fuck, hurts like hell. God damn it. I swear to God, it was in my shirt apparently. I don't know how the hell it got in my shirt, but I'm not allergic to them, by the way, let's be clear, so I'm not gonna die right here on air, but somehow it got in my shirt and bit me. This fucking yellow jack fly, those yellow jack flies, you know, not flies, but oh God, hurts like hell. Shit. So yeah, I just got bitten by a yellow jack somehow. It got in my shirt. I don't know how the world that happened, but it did. So that really sucks. On my birthday too. Thank you very much. Fly's dead. You know, the yellow jack is dead. Thank you very much, Cynic Yeah, Cynic girl, appreciate it. Just got the hell bit out of me though by this yellow jack fly. Can't believe this shit. On my birthday too. Like it's been years since I got bitten by one, and here I am getting bitten by one. It's like, of course. Like, thank you very much, God, on my fucking birthday of all days. I can deal with the pain. I'll take some medication later. I should be fine. I'm not allergic to them anyways, but it does hurt. So thank you for the birthday wishes, everyone. Let's continue with this TYT clip while I writhe in pain here. A yellow jack, you know, one of those yellow jack flies. It's one of those yellow jacks. You know, they're yellow. You know, like I forget what they're called exactly. Hold on, I'll show you. Yellow jack bee. Literally, that's what they're called. These fuckers. This fucker right here. That's what bit me just now. Yeah, these flies. Fucking bitch. Can't believe I got bit by one of those things. That's what bit me practically. Not that exact. I mean, it says European wasp, but it's not it, you know. What? Yellow jacket. That's what I meant to say. Yellow jack. I say yellow jack, but there's yellow jacket flies. So yeah, I just got bit. Yeah. Did I just close the video? I think. Yeah, that's what it is. A yellow jacket. I said yellow jack, but it's a yellow jacket. Sorry about that. Yeah. I know what I've seen it before. Hold on. I screwed up, so I just closed the wrong video. Let's continue with this eventually. There we go. It hurt like a son of a bitch. Trust me. I mean, I was like, well, what happened was I'm sitting here, we're looking at this, and then I felt something like come down here on my arm. So I did that. I started doing this, and apparently it bit me, and ended up here on the ground, kind of like, dying. So I was like, you mother, and I just started stomping on it until it's dead. Yeah, it hurts like hell right now. I'm in pretty decent amount of pain, but I can deal with it. I've been through worse. So thank you. They have these things called yellow flies. I'm highly allergic to those. Yeah. Luckily, I'm not allergic to yellow jackets, so I should be fine. I'm not going to pass out here and die on air. But, it does hurt. So I'm going to be dealing with pain for the rest of the stream. But I don't know how the hell it got my shirt and I didn't notice it. It's amazing. It actually happened to me before when I was a kid, real quick. I was like 8 years old and it got in my shirt and bit me right in the stomach. So this is not the first time this happened to me. It's been 30 years last time this happened to me. So they hurt though. So let's get back to this video so I can forget about this pain. So
and bias. On one axis, reliability is charted from 0 to 64, with anything over 40 being considered very reliable. Publications that land somewhere between 40 and 30 are still quite reliable, but include much more analysis or opinion. And then anything below 24 is characterized as selective or incomplete story.
Who knows what else is under there? Well, I mean, it's just me. My grandfather used to make tobacco. Oh, well, that's like old school type of stuff for medication. My grandfather used to mix tobacco and mud together and put on a wasp sting. And as the mud dries, it draws the stuff out of your skin. Oh, that's interesting. So I never knew that. I mean, I'm sure my grandfather used to do something similar, but... yeah, fucker. I'm pissed that I got bit by that thing. All right, so let's keep going now. Seriously.
Slash unfair persuasion slash propaganda. Now, let's take a look at the other axis. So the other axis plots how far away from zero publications veer.
No, I had it on me. When I went out to help my mother with my food, I had my shirts on me. Somehow it flew in my shirt, and I never felt it until right before it bit me. Like, it was like it's like right there it bit me. And it was like, what the, like, ow! And I'm not sure if people heard me, but then I looked down and the goddamn yellow jacket is right there on the ground. It was like, what the fuck? Really? I got bit by one of those bastards? Checked my armpits for any secret nests. Alright, that'll be in, like, there's nothing else there, trust me. But thank you. Needed that laugh, but it still hurts. It hurts right now. All right, let's keep going.
Here, with 0 being purely balanced coverage and negative 42 being most extreme left and 42 being most extreme right. So let's take a look at the simpler chart and you'll see TYT a little more clearly here. And as you can tell, we're still considered credible, Cenk, because we're above 24, but we're also considered far left, even further left than, the conversation, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Even further left than the bonus episode, which is literally the members only portion of our show. It's the same show. Okay.
Well, is that the bonus episode or is that the breakdown?
Let's go to.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah. I mean, my sweet birthday meat, huh? I mean, what a coincidence. Like, bastard, you got me.
One of the other graphs that'll kind of show you a little more clearly. Oh, there we go. On the right hand.
According to the chart, and Anna kind of lied there or made a mistake or straight up lied about where they were in the chart. But let's go to the chart. According to this, here's TYT here. It says hyperpartisan left. It doesn't say most extreme left, like she claimed. Most extreme left belongs to Revolutionary Blackout Network. But they're the most extreme left. But TYT are at hyperpartisan left. So no, they're not. I don't know why she said they're most extreme left. According to the chart, at least. I don't think they're left at all. But, that's according to this chart, at least. So let's go back to the video. Let's see. Now you have your girlfriend give you some hickeys, you'll be all set. I'm actually going to see her this weekend, most likely, so I'm looking forward to that. And she hasn't given me hickeys. I don't think so. I mean, none on my neck at least. So, all right. So that's too much information. Ah, my fucking arm. Let's keep going.
Right-hand side, Jank. Take a
Oh
look
yeah,
at
that is the bonus episode.
Yeah, bonus episode is part of the TYT main show. Like it's
So that makes no sense.
no sense at all. Yeah.
We get Wayfarer in the bonus episode apparently.
The bonus episode is the like where we kind of just talk off the cuff. The stories are a lot lighter.
She was about to say shoot the shit, but unfortunately, she's like, shh, just hang out and talk about random stuff, So, oh God, it's so painful. All right, keep going.
There's less research that goes into the stories because it's a lot lighter. It's where we share a lot more personal stories. Anyway, we're going to talk about the funding and who's behind this analysis in just a moment. But Cenk, what are your initial thoughts?
So look, I'm happy that they included us. I'm happy that they included other progressive voices that they usually don't include in these kind of things.
Are you?
Because normally in these kind of analysis,
I'm happy they included some other progressive voices in this. In fact, let me actually look up the chart. I want to show you guys who was included and who wasn't. Where's this chart? That's not that one. I just clicked on a Starbucks ad. This is why I hate. Oh God, this is why I hate putting on the ads. Hold on, where is it? Oh, in the bottom. Here we go. Here's the full chart. Okay. No, click on it. Take some Tylenol and put ice on that bite. Oh yeah, I will. Just that I'm in the middle of a stream right now and I don't want to keep leaving for minutes at a time. So here's the full chart. Look who's on this chart. Let's see. Let me show you guys. I was looking at this chart yesterday before the stream. Look who's on this chart. I'm not sure you guys can actually see it since it's so far away, but let's just do that. Actually, that's terrible too. Shit. Oh no, let's do this. Look at this. It says Crystal Kyle and Friends. I was looking to see whether. Oh God damn it! Why is it so painful? But it says Crystal Kyle and Friends. So let's see where their reliability is at. This shows in the chart, but according to this, they are hyperpartisan left. They're here, and they're at 30.08, which puts them here. Opinion or wide variation in reliability. So Crystal Kyle and Friends are. Why is like 3 different ones? That's weird. Well, God. Read it to us. Yeah, I did. It says because it doesn't look that good here. Yeah, it says they're hyperpartisan left and their opinion and wide variety and reliability. So that's your Crystal Kyle and Friends. I was looking for Secular Talk and see whether it was there. It wasn't. They didn't feature Secular Talk for some reason. So it's 204. Okay. Let's get rid of that for now. For some reason, RBN is unreliable or they do selective coverage and unfair persuasion and propaganda, which is I'm sure they're not losing any sleep over that. But still, I was kind of surprised that they featured RBN in this study.
It's corporate media, right-wing media, and they're like, does the internet exist? I don't know. Nobody's ever heard of it, right? But here they covered a bunch of people, including a bunch of online guys from the right. That's the right way to go. I don't know why they picked those 4 things from the TYT network. Indisputable's one of the largest growing shows on the planet. But
they pretty much have
Indisputable. The Rashad Ritchie dude, who was the former head of the Georgia Democratic Party, that dude. I mean, that dude sucks. He's terrible. This show's terrible. No, it's actually in. I think it may be. I got bit here in the bottom part of my arm. I don't feel it there, but I do feel a lump coming in. But But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's there, but I would still feel it, or unless it's inside my skin, and I don't know.
Most of our programming, including older shows, included. So that includes the bonus episode.
It's all right. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel it in my arm, doesn't? So I'm starting to feel a bump coming on, of course, but.
Indisputable, Power Hour with Nina Turner, Staying Home with Josh Fox, which hasn't aired on TYT Network for years. Interesting. The Conversation, The Damage Report, The Twitchuation Room, The Young Turks, and Old School.
Okay, well, God bless on that stuff. I'm amused that apparently Young Turks is fairer than Damage Report. Okay, but Conversation is way fairer than Young Turks. Okay, I think you should check out all of those and make up your own mind. But now to the main event. Guys, this chart is from the point of view of corporate media. So they have the CNNs and not Newsmax, but News Nation and all the outlets that are the most
corporate
as like the pinnacle, the objective, non-biased position is that the status quo is great. The establishment is great. Corporations are fantastic. Politicians are awesome. I don't think that's objective at all. I think that's massively biased.
Well, why don't
the whole chart doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Why don't we take a look? I think it's important to take a look at who funded this analysis, right? Because they raised $4.2 million in order to conduct this.
This is where Anna comes up with a little conspiracy theory on why the study said they were hyper-partisan left and have opinion or wide variation in reliability. So this is her little conspiracy theory here.
Research. I think it is fascinating that they have.
Let me read some of the chat real quick. Carlos says maybe it injected its eggs under your skin and will erupt off while you sleep. Oh God, that's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers type shit. You definitely need to wash it well with soap and water and elevate it. Well, yeah, I definitely will do that after the stream. Thank you very much. Also, meat tenderizer works like the aforementioned mud treatment. Okay, good to know. I still can't believe I got bit by that bastard. Like, I didn't feel it. Why does my mic keep moving? Like, I didn't feel it. Like, I didn't feel it until right before it bit me. That's why I'm not sure you saw. I kind of did this, and then it was like, ow, and I did that. I'm not sure my mic was on. I turned it off immediately, but it was like those bastards hurt so much, man. I haven't been bitten by one in 30 years nearly. Because I'm really careful around. I hate those bastards, so they don't come anywhere near me.
Have included so much of our programming, including past programming, in this chart. Like they're really honed in on TYT and what we're up to, allegedly up to, because I think their analysis is full of crap. But it could have something to do with where they're getting their money from. So
I blame Jimmy Dore. Yeah, I do too. I mean, it's obviously his fault. TYT loves to blame Jimmy Dore for everything.
Apparently, one of the top funders for this research is Aon Partners. It's a private equity firm. So I did a little bit of research on them, and I found on Crunchbase that this private equity firm specializes in something in particular.
In other words, when Anna says I want to do some research on them, I'm speculating here, but I'm almost positive that she doesn't do this research herself. She assigns some low-level intern or staffer to do the research for her, and then she takes all the credit for it, which is classic corporate media host. Like they don't do any of the work, but they take all the credit for the work once they air it. So I'm pretty sure that's what Anna's doing here. There's no way that she actually does this research herself. But let's watch her little conspiracy theory here she comes up with.
In particular, let's go to graphic 7 here. Aon Partners acts as a principal and sponsor of opportunistic real estate investments. I would venture to say that maybe, just maybe, my coverage of private equity firms and the impact on the real estate industry and residential housing didn't sit so well with the funders of this media analysis. I could be wrong, but it's something to consider.
Yeah. So
yeah, I think you're wrong, Anna. I think you're wrong. Like, really, I mean, this random real estate company who happened to fund most of the study somehow knows about TYT. Like, and knows about, not only knows about TYT, which they do because they will also be featured in this study, but they also somehow know about Anna's obscure coverage about real estate agencies and how terrible they've been to tenants and stuff. I don't buy that, like, really. So they instead of they're going after, like, oh well, this study's obviously coming after TYT. They're not going after all left wing media. It's just us. We're the ones that are doing hard hitting reporting on how terrible the real estate agencies are being to tenants and to homeowners and stuff. That's why they wanted to attack TYT, even though they have hundreds of news organizations in that study, and there's nothing, and all these news organizations aren't covering how terrible real estate agencies are. So yeah, her stories, I've seen some of her videos on that. They're really obscure. They don't get that many views. They get like 20,000 views, 15,000 views. And for TYT, that's like minuscule. So yeah, it's just a ridiculous conspiracy theory from Anna. So let me fast forward now to her meltdown. Because she has a little meltdown here. She gets angry about this study again. So let's think it's here.
So they have them at the peak, at the pinnacle. Even Fox News, they have way above us in credibility. That's a joke.
I mean, think about this, Cenk. Fox News that just paid the largest defamation settlement in American history.
Oh, wait,
okay,
Come on, they should
No,
be.
no,
Sorry. I forgot what triggered her meltdown. Hold on. Sorry. What triggered her meltdown was the fact that Fox is considered much more credible than TYT. This is what triggers her meltdown. This makes her very angry. That the Young Turks, which she's the executive producer of, somehow is considered less credible than Fox. That makes her very angry. That makes her very, very, very angry. Thank you for the advice. And no, my fingertips are fine. Yeah, they're still pretty pink. There's still blood flow through them for now. But yeah, this is what triggers Anna. It's that Fox News is considered more credible than the Young Turks, which honestly, right now, Fox News is more credible than the Young Turks. Doesn't mean they're not Republican propaganda, but as a news organization, they are much credible right now than Fox is. I mean, than TYT is. So let's watch Anna's meltdown here because it's pretty funny.
Come on, guys. And look, the timing of this, usually I don't get all worked up about these ridiculous analyses. Who cares, right? But it got me worked up because of the timing especially, right? Ask yourselves this. How many news organizations, left, right, center, doesn't matter. How many of them have hosts that are willing to sit here or sit at their desks and correct past mistakes in their reporting? I did a
You don't do it. Anna doesn't correct her mistakes. Like, when has she ever corrected any of her horrible reporting over the years? I've never seen it. Actually, she does. Let me let her play a few more seconds and then I'll respond.
3-minute long correction on our reporting on Rebecca Jones. I did a correction.
I don't know about the Rebecca Jones thing. I have no idea who she is. So maybe you guys know, you could tell me, but I have no clue about Rebecca Jones.
Things I got wrong in the Kyle Rittenhouse story.
Oh, that's interesting. The Kyle Rittenhouse story. Let me open that up real quick or discuss that. I did see that correction, and it was so ridiculous because TYT didn't, like, in the title of the video, it doesn't talk about correcting the record on Kyle Rittenhouse, something like that. It doesn't come across as a correction video. The title of the video literally says something to the effect of Kyle Rittenhouse's lawyer says something shocking during opening arguments. It doesn't talk about a correction, doesn't talk nothing. It's just Anna, and then at 5 minutes into the video, Anna does a correction. Door just opened. Anna does a correction. So they hid the correction within another video. And somehow Anna wants credit for the fact that she did a correction video on Kyle Rittenhouse after over a year of all the mistakes, horrible reporting she did on Kyle Rittenhouse. But somehow now she wants credit because she did a correction, even though TYT hid the correction in another video, in the title of another video. So she gets no credit for that.
don't hesitate to correct anything that I might have accidentally misreported or
accidentally misreported. Like when she blackmailed Jimmy Dore and claimed Jimmy Dore sexually harassed her? Or is that what she's talking about? Was she talking about a time where she lied about Aaron Mate? This is unbelievable. Like, she melts down and acts like she's virtuous and higher than everybody else, but she's the biggest liar and she's the biggest purveyor of liars on the internet.
Led my audience on, okay? But no credit for that. In the middle of this unbearable backlash I'm getting literally from the left over my personal political views.
Oh, you see how upset she is, guy? You see how she upset? It's like, oh, the left is attacking me for my personal political views. Isn't that outrageous? I mean, aren't I virtuous for standing up to the left, guys, over my political opinions, which they don't like? Oh, the Mate smear was the worst, and somehow she acts like she's virtuous because she occasionally corrects the record on certain things. It's absurd. Absurd. Keep going.
Views. These clowns want to pretend like we are, uncredible, far left mouthpieces, and at the same time, they're propping up and uplifting corporate media sources that have a proven bias that we talk about on a regular basis. It is amazing to see it. It is what it is. I just think if they are under the assumption that we're not going to do a little more digging than every other outlet that's been covering this.
No, you're not going to. Basically, what she's saying is, I'm going to let my interns do all the research while I sit on my ass and do nothing all day other than sit at home and drink alcohol. That's what she's saying there. Her chest is so red, you think she was stung by a bee. Yeah, it is pretty red. I didn't really notice that because I'm not looking down her shirt. But yeah, it is pretty red. It's quite red. So it's like, I'm not sure whether she's an allergic reaction to something she put on or what, or maybe she spent too much time at the beach and burnt, and that's what happened. But yeah, I mean,
this to figure out who's really behind the funding for this analysis. They really do have another thing coming. Because one thing I can promise you guys, and I hope my reporting in the past has proven this, okay? I don't just regurgitate talking points that I've listened to or heard in other media outlets.
You hear that? Like, I just don't regurgitate talking points that I heard in other places in the media. Except that's what you do all the time. You regurgitate. You use now. You're using right-wing talking points on issues like crime and homelessness. That's what you do. That's what Anna Kasparian does. And is she really that dense, or that in her own bubble she doesn't realize what she does? And also, she says, like, my reporting. All right, she doesn't do reporting. Like, she doesn't do reporting at all. What she does was she's not a journalist, she's not a reporter, she's just a YouTube reactor. Again, nothing wrong with that. That's what I do. I'm a YouTube reactor. I'm not a journalist, but I don't pretend to be a journalist. That's the difference. She pretends to be a journalist. So let's see. Let's talk about some great, like, female journalists. Oh, thank you, Gamer. Appreciate the happy birthday wishes. Appreciate you popping in for a minute here. Let's talk about female journalists. Who's some great female journalists in this space? I'm over at RBN right now. Oh, they're live too? No wonder why I'm not getting that many viewers. But no, seriously, thank you for taking the time to come in. I greatly appreciate that. But let's talk about some great female journalists like Fiorella Isabel from the Combo Couch and RT, or why am I blanking on some female journalist names? Anya Partenpill of the Gray Zone. I'm forgetting these, but these are great female journalists, and I appreciate that, Gamer. Yeah, I will hopefully have a good day. I got bitten by a yellow jacket, but that sucks. Okay. Whitney Webb. Yeah, thank you, Carlos. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more better female journalists than Jen Dees Dies. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce her last name. But yeah, she's great too. There's tons of female journalists. Yeah, I know it sucks, Gamer. I'm in pain right now, but I'm gonna get through the stream and then I'll probably take a Tylenol or something. That'd be fine. but I'm gonna get through the stream first. Not gonna do it right now. But yeah, there's plenty of great female journalists, and Anna Kasparian is way in the bottom of them. She's not a journalist. She's never broken a story in her life. She never even left her studio. She's never left the Young Turk studio in like 20 years. She's been at TYT. Like, I've never seen her with a microphone live somewhere in the country covering a protest or covering some sort of just covering any story outside. Talking to people. I've never seen her do that once in her career. And she has the nerve to call herself a journalist. It's just unbelievable. All right, well, I think it's a few more seconds. My aunt gave me $50. I'm going to get weed eventually from my uncle. That was my late birthday present. Well, great. Actually, this marijuana company, all gens can fuck off. This CBD company here in New Jersey gave me $50 for my birthday to buy whatever I want. So they both suck. They gave me $50 to buy whatever like things I want for marijuana, which is nice. It's like, oh great. So I ordered some stuff, so it should be in a couple weeks. But I'm really excited about that. Jen Perlman is a neoliberal clown. Jen Perlman. Why am I forgetting who that is? I got it just so much pain. What the fuck? Oh, I know who she is. Okay. She's the one that went on Willie Bragg's show recently, which I was watching. I was like, really? Like, Willie Bragg had her on? I mean, it's like, come on, man. I mean, you could do better than that. She hates Jimmy. I can't stand Jennifer Perlman. No. Yeah, I mean, I only know about her. I forgot she even existed. The only reason why I know her is because she ran against Debbie Wasserman Schultz, I think, once, and she had some other incident with somebody else where she kicked her off her show or something, and she was crying or something like that. So, hello, Mastermind. How are you? And she was very angry. She was very upset about something. So, yeah, that's the last time I heard from her. I forgot about her until Willie Bragg had her on his show. So, yeah, I was like, oh, wow, Jen Perlman. Forgot about her. She forgot she even existed. So, yeah, I used to like her, not anymore. To me, Jen Perlman is a neolib. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's what she comes across of. I mean, when I seen a few clips, it's like Afeni, of course. Yeah, I mean, every female journalist or YouTuber is above Anna Kasparian. She's the worst. She's literally the worst. Let me finish this few more, like another minute.
I do my work. I show my receipts.
She doesn't do a homework. She doesn't show receipts. I mean, so
right my wrongs when I get something wrong. And I don't really see a lot of these other news organizations that are considered more credible doing the same thing.
No. The more you look at it, the more of a joke it becomes. Because their main excuse for putting us there is, well, you guys do opinion and analysis. First of all, analysis is wrong. Okay, let's focus on the opinion. As they say, okay.
That's not what they said, Jenk. Hold on. He didn't say you do opinion and analysis. It says you do opinion or wide variation and reliability. It doesn't say anything about analysis. You're down here at 25.0. Over anything over 30, 32 is analysis. You're at 24, which means you do opinion or wide variation and reliability. You don't do analysis, according to this report. Oh, that's what it was. You're right, Indy. Thank you. I didn't know what you were talking about. And then yes, right. It was Afeni and CJ. I think she kicked both of them out and then started crying about how they were attacking her because she wasn't pro reparations. Now you're right. I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, that's what it was. That's right. I did remember. That's the last time I even heard the name Jen Perlman. That was like, what, 2 or 3 years ago? Something like that.
Okay, well, on top of giving the facts, you give opinion. If I'm, putting words in their mouth because they say that opinion is relevant, right? Then I looked and I'm like, wait a minute. Again, Fox News, way more credible according to this analysis.
Come on.
They are so butthurt that they consider Fox News more reliable, way more reliable than TYT. Cenk and Anna are so butthurt about that. It's like, oh, how Fox News can't be more reliable than us. Oh yeah, okay. Reef has it on his hard drive. I do remember that was the last time I heard the name Jen Perlman. That was like 2 or 3 years ago. Those people. Yeah, that's what I remember now. Yeah, I remember exactly what it was. Because I had like a faint memory of it. I was like, she kicked off some people off her show and then started crying about it. Something that they said to her. I don't know what it was, but that's exactly what it was. Why do these morons care about what some corporate poll says? Because Fox News is rated above them. Fox News is more reliable than the Young Turks, according to that analysis, which is why they're very bitter and very angry about that, and they attacked the poll or the media analysis, whatever.
The Daily Wire, way more credible, but they do opinion.
The Daily Wire is more credible than TYT. That's what they're angry about, right? Certain right-wing media outlets are more credible than them. I don't know about the Daily Wire. I don't watch what's that Ben Shapiro stuff, but I do watch TYT, and they're nowhere near reliable. What annoys me is, according to this chart, again, if you go back, TYT is more reliable than RBN. Look, great. See, this is RBN, this is TYT. That's ridiculous. That's absurd, but but TYT is mad about that. Fox News and Daily Wire is considered more credible than them.
You can't argue that they don't do opinion. The Daily Wire is far less factual than us and more opinionated.
Yeah, you guys,
they're far more factual. The Daily Wire they're far more factual than Daily Wire, and they do more opinion than the Young Turks. I mean, they're definitely in their own bubble. And it's like, dude, you do opinion and you also get plenty of shit wrong all the time. You're not factual. According to be fair, I think this poll, like, kind of put the Young Turks in there in a correct. It's correct when it says opinion, a wide variation in reliability. I mean, that's where they're at, and they're also hyper-partisan left, which they are too. And actually, not anymore. They used to be, but I think they're more like center left, maybe, especially when it comes to homelessness and crime. I mean, they've really gone to the right on those two things, on those two issues.
And never challenges the right wing. It doesn't make any sense. And then they have Reason magazine is nearly perfect. Now, Reason's an interesting magazine. It's libertarian, but it has some interesting articles. I'm not hating on Reason, but it's all opinion. What the? Oh, it's opinions you like.
Exactly.
Okay, I got it. Okay.
Yeah, take your private equity money and shove it. Okay, that's it.
Thanks for watching the Young.
Yeah, very bitter, very, very bitter. The Young Turks are about that. Fox News is considered more credible than them, and on top of, and that the Daily Wire is considered more credible than them. Very bitter, very angry. Even though this poll is ridiculous, because it does place RBN under the selective or incomplete story, unfair persuasion, or propaganda part of the poll, which is ridiculous. I mean, in fact, RBN are the groups that are the organization who point out propaganda in the corporate media, but somehow they're the propaganda outlet. Yeah, sure, buddy. Excuse me. So let me read some in the chat. Carlos says Angel got stung by a bee on air and keeps really bragging about it. That's pretty good. All right. TYT middle-aged moderates. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So it's 2:30. Okay, I have a little more time. Oh, let's play this real quick. Yesterday, I'm done with the Young Turks for now. Yesterday, we had our Mitch McConnell. As you guys know, I'm sure I covered this before. A few days ago, he had or 2 weeks ago around there, he had a stroke on air, right in the middle, right in front of the country. I mean, he literally just did this for like a minute or two. You have a 2:30, Carlos, with the dentist. All right, well, good luck with that. I mean, I went to the dentist last week myself, so hopefully they can fix your tooth. And thank you for joining me for a little bit. I hope you have a great weekend. So, yeah, as everybody knows, Mitch McConnell had a stroke on air a few weeks ago, and on live in a press conference, he's like this, like. For nearly a minute before somebody actually, came in and stopped him. Oh, it's a joke. I didn't get it, obviously. So, good. At least your tooth doesn't hurt, because tooth pain sucks. So, let's get to this. Mitch McConnell had another stroke, apparently. Because, let's watch. Let's say, breaking news. Senator Mitch McConnell appearing to have another scary episode in the media gaggle in Covington today. Aides had to step in and help him out and repeat questions. He's eventually led away. We had the full video on local. This is local news here in Kentucky, it looks like. So let's watch. It's about a minute.
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
So he was asked about running for re-election in 2026, which would put him in his mid-80s at that point. Like, it would put him in his mid-80s running for re-election. Either he glitching out again or he had a stroke again. Because I think 2 weeks ago he had a stroke. He had a stroke, so that's why I said he had a stroke again. But it could be just some kind of brain meltdown again. So let's start from the beginning. Whoops. Wait. All right, let's do that. Let's start over from the beginning.
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
Oh, that's nice. There he is again, just staring off into the wind. He's done.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator.
And his staffer takes him away. This is just sad. I mean, if it wasn't Mitch McConnell, I feel terrible for him. But because it's Mitch McConnell, I really, this is just ridiculous, that he continues to stay in power, even though clearly he can't do this anymore.
Okay.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
Please speak up, because he can't hear you, because he's having another brain meltdown again. Unbelievable. Like, when do their family members say, look, enough's enough? You need to either not run for re-election again or resign or retire, because you can't do this anymore. You can't do this to yourself anymore. This is too much for his family. This is too much. It's way too much. It's just embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing all of us. It's just too much. Let me see. All right, so this continues here. Okay. This is what they claim. So this is I didn't see this. Statement from Senator Mitch McConnell's team. Leader McConnell felt momentarily lightheaded and paused during his press conference today. Lightheaded? That wasn't lightheaded. That was him just melting down on air in front of everybody again. Either he had a stroke or some kind of... Okay, this is the other video. I didn't see this one.
Daniel Cameron, you have a comment?
So he couldn't...
Senator Daniel Cameron.
So he couldn't hear the question, and his staffer there is like basically yelling in his ear because for him to hear it.
Senator Daniel Cameron, you have a comment on Daniel Cameron?
Well, I think the government race is going to be very close.
What? I can't understand a word he said.
Far and away the best candidate we could have nominated. And
I still can't understand him.
the stage has become pushing the Republicans back to government down.
That's what he sounds like he's saying.
So I'm optimistic.
I can't understand a word he's saying. He's like, it's like, and it's low too. You can barely hear him too. On top of that,
That Daniel will be our next governor.
Okay, I think we can do one more.
Senator, what is your reaction on Trump's latest indictment? Would you support him as a nominee?
It's a question about Trump.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment about the presidential race, either on the Republican side or the Democrat side.
Okay, thank you all.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Sorry, thank you.
and look how he walks too. It's like he has like that old man walk, that he's about to fall over. That's why his staffers are right next to him, make sure he doesn't fall. Joe Biden has that walk too. All right, that's that. That was just pathetic. It's one of the most pathetic things I've ever seen. He's talking about, I don't know who he's talking about, but he's like, I couldn't understand. I couldn't even hear him. And when I did hear, I didn't understand the word he said. So it's like Dianne Feinstein. She's literally being handled too. Like, she has staffers like directly telling her how to vote. If you remember that incident, she's like 90 something years old and she can barely function, but somehow her staffers are telling her how to vote. It's like, all right, wait. You're supposed to be the senator, Dianne Feinstein. Your staffer's telling you how to vote, and nobody sees a problem with this. Nobody in Washington's like, yeah, she needs to resign or retire immediately. I mean, get her the fuck out of there. I mean, she's like she's about to die any day now. And I get it. Look, she's 90 something. I get it. She's, close to death, but come on. I mean, she's clearly not all there. And neither is Mitch McConnell. And neither is Joe Biden. Neither is Nancy Pelosi's all there, unfortunately. She's in her 80s and she sounds like she's drunk half the time. So Nancy Pelosi, another one that shouldn't be there. Let's see. And Nancy Pelosi is she's drinking too much vodka or Long Island iced tea every day. I'm waiting for a death on the Senate floor. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised someone just keeled over and died. One of these senators. Cynic says, being told how to fucking vote, signed away her power of attorney to her daughter, who nobody voted for. Yeah, how in the world is Dianne Feinstein still allowed in the Senate is beyond me at this point. It's like, she just signed power of attorney over to her daughter. She's not mentally competent to be a U.S. senator. Why is she still in the Senate? Why she hasn't retired or resigned or forced out somehow? Have the rest of the Senate just, force her out. There's a way to, if she refuses to retire, there's a way to, unseat a senator. But the reason why they don't do it is because it's Nancy Pelosi again. She's like one of the most powerful people in California. So basically what's going on is they want Dianne Feinstein to serve out her term. So then Adam Schiff can run for that Senate seat, who's Nancy Pelosi's favorite politician. So if Dianne Feinstein dies or retires, that means that Gavin Newsom will be forced to appoint a black woman to that seat because he promised it. So he opened his big mouth and promised that he would appoint a black woman to that seat if Dianne Feinstein retires or passes away. So now they want to keep Dianne Feinstein in that seat until the end of her term, which is 2025. So it's 2 years away still, or a year and a half away still. So they're hoping that she survives in a year and a half in order to give Adam Schiff a chance at that Senate seat. So that's what this is all about. It's all political. Nancy Pelosi gives zero fucks about Dianne Feinstein and her life. I mean, Dianne Feinstein should probably be in some kind of home, just waiting for her to die. Instead, she's still in the Senate. Just gross. All right, so Mitch McConnell, that's that. I covered that. Unfortunately, the old man looks like he's going to die any day. Let's see. What else? There's something else I'm missing, aren't I? Let me see. Oops. Oh, I love this. So this is Biden's so old he makes a mummy looks like a fitness trader. Fitness trainer. Yeah, I mean he is that ancient. He is like he's running for re-election in 2024. Like, why? You already were president, dude. Just go away, go quietly into that night. Just retire. You had your one term. Just move on. Why are you insisting on a second term? I mean, come on. And anyway, in my opinion, I don't think Joe Biden is going to be a nominee. I think they're going to push him out slowly. They're gonna, the media is already starting to report on this Hunter Biden scandal, and they didn't before, so they're starting to report on it, and there's some whispers already that he's going to be removed from the ticket, and so is Kamala Harris. I mean, they know if they renominate Biden Harris, they're going to get crushed for Donald Trump. They know that. That's why all these prosecutions are happening and all these charges are being filed in a desperate attempt to stop Trump from being on the ballot or running for president. But yeah, eventually, I think towards the end, not now, not in the next 6 months, but towards the convention in August, there's going to be a removal of Joe Biden from the ticket, and they're probably going to nominate Gavin Newsom, which is Nancy Pelosi's nephew, I believe. So they're going to nominate Gavin Newsom, the sleeky like politician that he is, to be the Democratic nominee in 2024, and then he'll go up against Trump. And and he'll probably lose to Trump anyways, but at least the Democrats have a better chance of winning in 2024 if they nominate Gavin Newsom. That fucking door. Vote Cornel West. I'm definitely voting for Cornel West if he's on the ballot next year. Because there's no way I'm voting for Trump or Biden or Gavin Newsom or whoever the hell Democrats nominate. So, yeah, fuck them. Fuck the two parties. So now let's get to this. I saw this yesterday on Twitter. I thought this was hilarious. American monopolists freely shutting down factory and ruining lives of working people. In Russia, Putin doesn't let such greedy characters get away with it. Watch how billionaires shiver in his presence. I've seen this before, but I've never really covered it. So, all right. So it's like in a documentary of some kind that aired a number of years ago. Gavin Newsom promises a new tent and a piece of sidewalk fall. It's amazing, the homeless problem in California, in Los Angeles especially. It's like, oh my god. In San Francisco and Los Angeles, two major cities in California. It's like, what is Governor Newsom doing about it? Dick. I mean, I mean, there's no policy. There's nothing. It's just like, oh well, it's not much. No, you got to do something. You're the governor. You're the Democratic governor in one of the bluest states in the country. So the reason why they don't do anything is because they know that the Democrats in California never hold them accountable, the voters. That's why Gavin Newsom does nothing, because he get reelected no matter what. Like what happened, I think it was a couple of years ago. Gavin Newsom was recalled by California, and Larry Elder ran against him. And it turns out that, of course, Gavin Newsom won, even though he shouldn't have won. Even if Larry Elder would have won, nothing would have changed. Democrats control Sacramento, like completely control the legislature. So even if Larry Elder became governor for 10 months, it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered much because there's nothing he can do to really change anything. But no, you have to reelect sneaky politician Gavin Newsom. So let's watch this video of Putin owning this billionaire here real quick.
Vladimir Putin strode into town.
Почему раньше здесь не было людей, которые способны были принимать решения? Почему здесь-то забегали все как тараканы перед самым моим приездом?
Unlike Medvedev, Putin confronted the factory owners.
Считаю, что вы сделали заложниками своих амбиций, непрофессионализма, а может быть просто и тривиальной жадности. Тысячи людей. Это абсолютно недопустимо. Если собственники...
Thank you, comrade. Kitty, greatly appreciate the birthday wish. Thank you for joining me here for today. I'm 37 years old today. So let's continue with this.
Договориться между собой не смогут, то единый комплекс все равно будет восстановлен. В том или в другом виде, то это будет сделано без вас.
He demanded the owners, including billionaire Oleg Deripaska, sign an undertaking to restart the factories.
Вы подписали этот договор? Да.
Yeah. So Putin demanded basically that the factory be reopened and gave all their people their jobs back from the Russian billionaire, the Russian oligarch. So he's the Russian. You saw him here. Hold on. This is the oligarch here. Where is he? Oh, there he is. This dude right here is the oligarch who shut down the factory. And of course, Putin came in and was like, "You're not shutting down this fucking factory. Out of your mind? No, you're going to sign this agreement basically saying that, yeah, we're going to reopen this factory, give everybody their jobs back. Oh, if you refuse to do it, well, there might be some consequences and repercussions for you. You know, just saying, there might be some of that. So you better sign this paper."
Oleg Deripaska, sign an undertaking to restart the factories.
Вы подписали этот договор? Да.
Да.
Олег Владимирович подписал? Что я не вижу вашей подписи? Идите, пишите.
Oops.
Идите ко мне.
Like, yeah, I don't see your signature here, buddy, so you better come here and sign it. Oh, Lord. Fucking door.
Да, договор.
Give me my pen back.
Classic Putin.
As soon as Putin showed up, these billionaires shit their pants. Like, oh shit, Putin's here? Oh, we're fucked. We're so fucked, man. It's like, Putin's here, man. I love that. It's like he shit his pants, that billionaire. He's like, oh fuck. I don't want to pay these fuckers and now I have to reopen this factory because of Putin. And god damn it. Let's watch that again.
Vladimir Putin strode into town.
Почему раньше здесь не было людей, которые способны были принимать решения? Почему здесь-то забегали все как тараканы перед самым моим приездом?
Unlike Medvedev, Putin confronted the factory owners.
Считаю, что вы сделали заложниками своих амбиций, непрофессионализма, а может быть просто и тривиальной жадности. Тысячи людей. Это абсолютно недопустимо. Если собственники договориться между собой не смогут, то единый комплекс все равно будет восстановлен. В том или в другом виде, то это будет сделано без вас.
He demanded the owners, including billionaires.
You love billionaires looking like they're nervous and scared. Like, oh shit, I'm so fucked here. Like, oh, I'm so fucked, guys. I mean, I didn't know Putin would actually do this, and actually defend his people from billionaire assholes like me who wanted to take their jobs and shove it up their asses, and shut down these factories. Imagine a U.S. president doing this. Like, let's say like Detroit. All the factories are shut down in Detroit. Imagine U.S. president going there. You're not shutting down these fucking factories. You're out of your mind? No, I mean, if you don't shut down, there'll be consequences and repercussions, I mean, I'm going to have to look into your business dealings. I'm going to have to look in, the Justice Department have to look into this stuff. And maybe, just maybe, there'll be some kind of crimes and maybe charges filed against you. Maybe, I'm just saying, if you don't reopen these factories, do it immediately. Or else.
Billionaire Oleg Deripaska sign an undertaking to restart the factories.
Вы подписали этот договор? Да. Олег Владимирович подписал? Что я не вижу вашей подписи? Идите, пишите. Идите ко мне.
It is un-American. it is un-American when to do what Putin's doing here, because most American presidents are subservient to the oligarchs and to corporations. People like American, like the West says, oh, Russia's an oligarchy, you know, all the billionaires, you know, control the country and stuff like that. But they act like the U.S. is an oligarchy too. Like we have billionaires here who control everything here. And the difference is the U.S. presidents are their puppets. You can say whatever you want about Putin, but he's not a puppet of these oligarchs. I mean, the oligarchs do exactly what he tells them to, not the other way around. Clearly, as you can see here, you know, this billionaire here was like, I'm going to close this factory down. I'm going to fire everybody and fuck you. Oh shit, Putin's here? Oh God, let me piss my pants. Let me shit myself. And, you know, because he's going to make an example out of me, you know, like he did when he first came into power 20 years ago. He made an example out of one or two Russian billionaires and prosecuted them, took all their money. And it was like, oh yeah, you guys want to be next? And who wants to be next? You, sorry, Mr. President, we'll do whatever you want. Please don't prosecute us. I mean, because we all committed crimes here. Please. You know, that's what this guy's scared shitless here. That's why he signed immediately. He's like, give me back my pen, motherfucker.
Classic Putin.
This guy knows. This billionaire knows that if he didn't do what Putin tell him to do, there's going to be consequences and repercussions. We don't know. I don't know what it is yet. It could be jail. It could be all your money is gone. It could be death. I mean, who knows? I mean, there's definitely going to be consequences and repercussions if he didn't do exactly what Putin told him to do. Hilarious. Love it. American foreign policy analysts can't figure out why Putin has 90% approval rating among Russians. Yeah. I mean, they're shot. I mean, they either they say the poll is fake, you know, Putin manipulating the polls, or you know, he has his people scared to death, and that's why they say they support him, and you know. But meanwhile, no, it's this kind of shit. It's this why most Russians support him. It's this. It's doing this. As soon as the factory closed and hundreds of jobs were lost, this is what he does.
Vladimir Putin strode into town.
And yes, that might have been a real nice pen, but I think was more like a power play. Like Putin letting him know, look, I'm in charge here, not you, motherfucker. So give me back my pen. You know, and he gave him that steely look in his eye, like certain people have that look where as soon as you see them staring at you in that way, you shit yourself. It's like you're so scared, you have a chill go up your back. You know, it's like he gave him that look. Sorry, Mr. President, here's your pen. Let me go back and sit down like a puppet, like the bitch that I am. I'm so sorry, Mr. President. This is why his 90% approval rating. This standing up to the oligarchs, the Russian oligarchs. This. U.S. presidents would never do this. They wouldn't dare because they're financed by these same billionaires. No wonder nobody likes Biden. Oh, yeah. Nobody. Not a single soul likes Joe Biden. And the only way you like Joe Biden if you're paid to like Joe Biden. Like that Harry Sisson kid or his little buddy or Victor Shi or David Hogg. All these kids that are paid to like Joe Biden. That's the only reason why. The only reason why those kids like him is not because they really like him, because they get paid. They get the direct deposit in their bank accounts, and they're good. You know, they're ready to go. That's all they care about. Putin knows all the power moves, no doubt about it. That's why he's so popular in Russia, because he uses his power to help people, you know, and not to. Let's see here. So I want to get to the Oh, this is hilarious. The CNN clip. Geez, Biden paying kids to like him sounds icky. Yeah, you put it that way, it doesn't sound too good, but at the same time, That doesn't sound good at all. If you put it like that, that's just a good point. CNN has a meltdown over Trump's mugshot being used all over MAGA on social media, all of MAGA on social media. It's deplorable. It's a mockery of justice. It shows the insanity of people, who are so lost in their obsession with Donald Trump and this theory that the election was stolen. Saying pathetic is not strong enough. It's really sad. Bald-headed dumbass. So this is bald-headed dude here, says this.
In terms of how iconic that photo is, we now have his supporters in Georgia photoshopping themselves into mugshots, Fulton County mugshots, putting those on Twitter and calling them MAGA mugshots and saying now it's on. So he has galvanized his supporters even further. That's going to be a huge problem if he makes it to a general campaign. But so far right now, his base is sticking with him more than they ever have.
We can put one of those up. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she tweeted out a photoshopped mugshot with the hashtag MAGA mugshot. Jeremy, you've been shaking your head as that was described. What are you thinking?
It's deplorable. It's a mockery of justice. It shows the insanity.
Yes, of course. It is a mockery of justice because they don't care about your justice system. All they're thinking is Donald Trump is being railroaded by the system here, and he is being railroaded. I mean, he's being bent over and fucked up the ass with no lube. Sorry, that's exactly what it is. Exactly what they're doing to him. And maybe crude and maybe politically incorrect, but exactly what they're doing to him.
Insanity, or for lack of a better term, of people who are so lost in their obsession with Donald Trump and this theory that the election was stolen. And I saying pathetic is not strong enough. It's just really sad.
That's really sad. Really, really sad. Really sad, guys. I mean, how dare these Trump supporters troll us here, I'll get to some of this in a minute. I'm looking for a certain clip, which I've lost for some reason. I already saw that. No. These are old. These are from last week. I gotta get rid of these old bookmarks I have. Might as well do this now since I'm, just saw it. Let's see. Crystal Ball has always been a shit-lib masquerading as a progressive. She ran for state Congress as a Dem while she wrote a hilarious screed about reforming the Democratic Party within. And she freaking loves Joe Biden. I recommend not trusting anything this grifter says. So this is a book she wrote in 2015, called Reversing the Apocalypse, Hijacking the Democratic Party to Save the World by Crystal Ball. So this is right after she got fired from MSNBC, I think. Blah, blah, blah. So here we go. Let's read this part here. So let's do that because I don't want... Alright, here we go. I freaking love Joe Biden. I love the way he's willing to resurface his grief over his own deep personal loss. If it can help a room full of Gold Star mothers begin to heal. I love that even after 40 years in Washington, he still manages to connect to that uniquely American visceral pain over losing the family home. I love that he and President Obama clearly love each other so much. I thought and still believe that in all the ways Hillary, let me see what it says. That's it. Okay. Well, yeah, Crystal Ball freaking loves Joe Biden. Ladies and gentlemen. No doubt about it at this point. And I'm looking for a Crystal Ball clip, but for some reason I can't find it right now. So let me see. Nope. Where is it? You know what? Let me go to my... No, it's not what I want. All right, let's go to my Twitter. So you see balloons and my birthday. So I knew I retweeted it or I did something with it from yesterday. It's from yesterday, so I'm going to have to go down a bit. Did I ever play this one? Yeah. Did I I don't remember actually playing this. I thought I did, but maybe some other. I played a few Kyle clips. Maybe I didn't get to this one. If I did, let me know in the chat so I don't do it again. But so it says this is from Dirtbag Leftist, by the way, on Twitter. Postoopoulos. He does great with these clips that he clips out. My arm still hurts. Kyle Kulinski gave an unhinged rant shaming Cornel West for running in the Green Party by using the played out. Okay, it's new. Okay, because I did 2 or 3 clips already, but I don't remember if I did this one. I guess I didn't. By using the played out, we need ranked choice voting first excuse and saying that he'll be called a spoiler if Trump wins. How is Kyle any different from any clown you see in corporate media? He isn't.
Leftist.
He isn't. So it's 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I've watched this whole video, and of course it pissed me off, but I'm glad that these clips are out there. I don't have to watch the whole fucking thing, so let's watch.
Now, on the Cornel West front, look, understand something. I would like to talk to him and ask him, what do you think you're doing here? Like, what do you think you're doing here? Do you actually think
Look at how condescending and how much he talks down to Cornel West here. It's so condescending and so smug and arrogant. He just talks down to Cornel West like Cornel West is some kind of dumbass that Kyle Kulinski, in his infinite wisdom, needs to educate. It's just so infuriating.
Think you can win? Because you can't. Because we don't have ranked choice voting. We still have first past the post voting. So what's your highest goal that you think you could achieve? Is it the 5% for the Green Party? Is that what it is? So that you can get matching funds and make it more viable? But again, I hate to tell you, the Green Party and no third party will be viable unless and until we get ranked choice voting. Because until that point, there's always going to be this perception you're just a spoiler candidate.
Whose perception? Why should we care? Good question. It's exactly what it is. I mean, I don't give a shit about what perception Democratic Party has about me or about anyone who happens to vote for Cornel West. Or we don't give a shit. I mean, he's the one that gives a shit because he's in that club. He's in that Washington club now, since he now married a crystal ball.
And by the way, if we get into a general election and it's Biden versus Trump, and Trump ends up winning because Cornel West got 5% of the vote or something, or 3% of the vote, and he gets blamed, that's going to set the movement back so much. People are going to look at leftists as spoiled brats who are just getting in the way. Now, that's totally separate from the question as to whether or not the spoiler effect actually is real.
Wait. What? I kind of missed that. Hold on.
Totally separate from the question as to whether or not the spoiler effect.
Right, you're not the one that's spoiled getting in the way of what? He's now calling, like, he's just now claiming that Cornel West supporters are somehow spoiled because we don't want to vote for Joe Biden and for any Democrat whatsoever. It's just ridiculous. It is unhinged. It's unhinged commentary.
Effect actually is real. But there's going to be a perception that it's real, and everybody's going to...
It's going to be a perception. He's like condescendingly talking down to Cornel West and his supporters, or people that would want to vote for him in November of next year. He's talking down to them, to us, maybe, most likely.
Going to blame the left for Donald Trump winning. Now, I don't want that to happen. I know you guys don't want that to happen. So I'd love to ask Cornel West, like, what exactly are you doing here?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Like, if I get blamed, let's say, for Donald Trump losing, great. I take total responsibility for that. Now listen to me and tell you how we're going to win again in 2028. But no. So I have no problem getting blamed for Trump winning. Zero. I don't know about you guys in the chat, but zero. I have no problem with being blamed for Donald Trump winning next year.
Now, if he was going to run, he should have run as a Democrat. Why do I say that? What's he polling at now? 1%?
Because you're a moron. Do you see that? I love this. Watch this. It's like...
Now, if he was going to run, he should have run as a Democrat. Why do I say that? What's he polling at now? 1%?
Because you're a moron. I love that. I didn't even see that the first time I watched it. Let's see. Comrade says, we're so spoiled by lack of healthcare and living wages. That's the thing with people like Kyle. He doesn't care. He's not worried. Does he want higher wages and healthcare somewhere in his core beliefs? Maybe. I don't know. But ultimately, he doesn't care because he doesn't need it. Yeah, it's like theoretical to him. It's like he's his theory, political theory. You know, he's political science major, so he wants to do political theory. Like, oh well, yeah, I would like to have Medicare for all, I would like to have higher wages, but does it affect me? No, I mean, I'm a multi-millionaire YouTuber who has 1 million subscribers, and I just married an even more richer white woman, Crystal Ball, who's my sugar mama. So no, I don't want to rock the apple cart too much. Let's see. Carlos says he's butthurt that Marianne sucks. Yeah, I mean, she's terrible. She's worse than RFK Jr. She's worse than Trump. She's worse than Cornel West. She's worse than everybody. You know, she's like the bottom of the rung in presidential candidates. And unfortunately, Kyle's butthurt because his little vanity project, Marianne Williamson, didn't work. Nobody cares. No one cares.
Why do I say that? What's he polling at now? 1%?
No, Cornell's polling at 4%. Did Kyle miss this poll? Because Kyle's the one that's obsessed with polling. Did he miss this poll? I mean, there's no way he could have missed it. I mean, he's the one obsessed with polling. 2024 national general election. Trump 46, Biden 44. And with Cornel West polled, but Trump's at 44, Biden's at 39, and Cornel West at 4%. He's polling in 4%, not 1%. So Kyle's just lying there. Or he didn't see this poll, or he's just bold-faced lying and he saw this poll because he wants Marianne Williamson to win. Carlos says Kyle's living in a Barbie dream house. Ken Doll Kyle. That's what I'm going to call him from now on. He's Ken Doll Kyle.
Well, Marianne Williamson is barely getting any media coverage, and she's still at 10% or more.
Yeah, she's at 10%. In a rigged primary, she has no chance of winning. It's unbelievable to me how, yeah, I mean, she's at 10%, guys. So by definition, she has more support than Cornel West. Yeah, but it doesn't mean she'll win. The primary's rigged. Carlos says Kyle knows he's just lying. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that he knows. He's not stupid. He's not like he's obsessed with polling. So he had to have seen that poll. He's just lying about it.
So she's at 10 times what Cornel West is, simply because she decided.
Yeah, it's actually 2.5 times in 2 completely unrelated elections. Because Cornell's going to the general most likely, and Marianne Williamson is going to fuck off and drop out in October when her book comes out. Because this is all a glorified book tour for her.
Decided to run as a Democrat. So I don't know what the.
Not only that, Kyle doesn't know math because he claimed Marianne Williamson has 10 times the support of Cornel West. It's actually 2.5 times, and the elections are completely different because Cornell's going to the general election, and Marianne Williamson is fucking off after her book tour, and she's going to be endorsing Joe Biden most likely, or she is. I'm guaranteeing you, she is going to endorse Joe Biden.
What the strategy is: if you don't have ranked choice voting, if you don't get rid of first past the post voting, you're just doing a virtue signal fest. That's all it is.
And you're not doing a virtue signal fest, Kyle, when you're seeing your support for Marianne Williamson? You're not doing a virtue signal fest? Like, you know she's not going to win. And yeah, exactly. Jimmy Dore, Pasta, we all have critiques of Cornel West. It's not like we're just sucking up to him, talking about how perfect he is. He isn't. Some of his policies aren't perfect. You know, we do criticize him for it. RBN does too. He does interviews at RBN once a month, and and they hold him accountable. So that's good. Cornel West is being held accountable now. He's running for president. He's a politician. But Kyle, you're not doing a virtue signal fest by supporting Marianne. Of course you are. That's projection.
If you actually want to win, if you actually care about getting the country to change for the better, there's an intelligent way to do that, and not a way that's
by running in a rigged primary. That's the intelligent way of doing it, guys.
Disenfranchises you from being taken seriously. So I don't know what he's thinking. I would love to ask him, like, what exactly is the goal here? Is the goal to get to 5%?
Yes, jackass, and to build a movement instead of being a sheepdog Democratic Party. Yes, that's the goal. Get it to 5% so we can get matching funds for the Green Party. Like, what is this so hard to understand? And here's the thing. Kyle's not stupid. He understands this. Back in 2018-19, when he first started Justice Democrats, he understood this. He literally said at one point, well, I mean, yeah, we want to work with the Democratic Party, but we also want to work with third parties. because that way we can get them to 5% and maybe have more outside pressure coming from the Democratic Party to pressure them to do what we need them to do. Now he's being dense and acting like he doesn't know what the strategy is. Like, it's just absurd.
Does he understand that the only way the Green Party or the Libertarian Party or any of the other parties would be viable if you get ranked choice voting first? Does he understand that? I don't know.
He's obsessed with ranked choice voting. That's not a panacea. I mean, yes, ranked choice voting. Ranked choice voting means it's good, but it's not a panacea. We still have plenty of issues with our elections. So just because we all of a sudden get ranked choice voting, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden our elections are perfect. It's not. Oh shoot, I just knocked over my mic nearly. Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, let's see. What was I going to say? I just lost track of what I was going to say. Oh no, I know what I was going to say. Here's the thing, Kyle. The reason why he loves ranked choice voting so much, that way, if it's implemented, then he gets to vote for the Green Party in virtue signal. Meanwhile, he knows once the Green Party candidate loses, then his vote will go to the Democrat. So that's what it's all about. It's more virtue signaling from Kyle. That's why he's so obsessed with the ranked choice voting. That's why.
No, I don't know.
He doesn't know. He's a moron. Now here we go. This is the tweet Kyle sent out at the time in 2020. Yes, this is allegedly the same Kyle Kulinski. Now let's read this tweet. As a left-winger who will not vote for Biden, I want you to know I am 100% okay with you blaming me if Trump wins a second term. I mean it. Blame me. Then get to thinking real hard how you get me to support your candidate the next time. Maybe even ask me. I'll tell you. That's exactly what I just said. And that's exactly what RBN says. And that's exactly what INN says. And that's exactly what Do Dissident says. That's exactly what we all say. Kyle, and then all of a sudden, this is Kyle from today. This is oops. I just fucked up, I think. Yeah, I did. Hold on. Excuse. This is today's Kyle saying, he's dense. Like he pretends to understand what's going on. He knows exactly what's going on. He's just a bullshitter. Carlos also says the good thing about Cornel is that he's listening and learning. Yeah, I mean, I have respect for Cornel West. Unlike most politicians, he's actually going on these shows like RBN and actually monthly. He's going on every month and, they're holding him to account. They're asking him tough questions and, he has answers. Some of them are good. Some of them are not, but he has answers at least, and there's a conversation and, that's important. And no other politician does that. Not even close. Most politicians run and hide from independent media that ask them tough questions. Look at what Marianne did with RBN. The one time she went on there, she rage quit after half an hour or something like that. It was just ridiculous. It's like she ran off as soon, and then she thinks she called Nick a mansplainer or sexist or something like that. But it's just absurd. Let me see. Where's that crystal ball clip I had? I lost the crystal ball clip wanting to play. And I do have to wrap up soon. It is my birthday, and I want to do other things today, other than stream. Even though I love streaming, and especially now I got this mic, but I do need to wrap up soon. Let me see. Oh yes, this one. I'm sorry, I gotta play this one too. This one is just hilarious. Again, this is Kyle Kulinski. I'm sorry, I can't resist. I have to play this. Kyle Kulinski says the new NLRB ruling is one of the most base things the Biden administration's ever done. In theory, we could wake up tomorrow and had 25% unionization. This will have a bigger impact if we just raise the minimum wage. Sounds like Cope to me. Yeah, it does. Like he's so
legal.
Like Kendall Kyle here is so desperate to defend Joe Biden that he's willing to just do shit like this, embarrass himself. The show is just getting started. Well, yeah, I appreciate that, but eventually it's 3:15 right now on the East Coast, and I do have to start, heating up my dinner, heating up my wings soon, and eating cake and ice cream. So, yes, I'll probably be with you guys in half an hour maybe. So, but for now, let's watch this. The best thing Biden's ever done.
All right, guys, I'm really happy to bring you some amazing news for once. So, this is maybe the most based thing that the Biden administration has done yet. Biden's
What a child.
NLRB, that's the National Labor Relations Board, the board ruled that the union will become automatically legal, automatically legitimate in a scenario where bosses try to mess with an attempt to unionize. This is the best thing we've seen on labor rights literally since FDR.
What?
So that means
This guy is so obsessed with FDR. It's based. He's like a teenager. Like he learned that from Crystal Ball's kids, and all of a sudden now he's just using it all the time. Based. It's so based, guys. Based. It's like, what are you, a teenager? What are you, a goddamn teenager or something? This is ridiculous. You know, he sounds like he's like a 40-year-old, he's like a 35-year-old man sounding like a 15-year-old. It's ridiculous. I'm 37 today. I'm about to say I'm 36. I'm 37, and this is, I would never say the word based. I mean,
like even Lyndon B. Johnson, JFK, they did nothing as strong on this issue as this is. And
oh, come on, really? They did nothing as strong and as changing a rule in the NLRB. He changed the rule, and yes, it may lead to more unionization. But it's like, again, what is this? What is this called? Incrementalism. That's what this is called. This is not the first. This is not what's that act called? The PRO Act, where unionization can be expanded by law, by federal law. This is just a rule change. This is just the incrementalism, which is the one thing Kyle hated for years. Past Kyle hated incrementalism. Now all of a sudden he loves it. You know, as soon as he married Crystal Ball and painted his hair ridiculously blonde like Ken doll, and he got access to all that money, all of a sudden incrementalism is awesome. And thank you, Carlos. I appreciate it. You don't look a day older than 38. You don't look a day over 38. Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
And obviously this blows out of the water Bill Clinton, Barack Obama. This could be a game changer for unions. With this decision, you're guaranteed to see an explosion in unionization.
Based on what? You're guaranteed to see an explosion in unionization, and you think these corporations won't find a way around that? Around this meaningless, this rule change? It's not a law, it's a rule change. They'll find a way. Either they'll take it to court and say how this is not fair to their business and how it's going to hurt their profits, or they're just going to ignore it. It's like, what's Biden going to do about it? Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. He's just going to, it's just virtue signaling because there's an election coming up. There's an election coming. That's why he's doing this. He's doing this rule change. There's no teeth in this. It's just the NLRB, you know, they can get around this very easily, these corporations.
With this one decision, the ruling is retroactive. So in theory, we could wake up tomorrow and have like 25% unionization rate in the country. It's 6% right now. It could be like 25% like that. It's a new day, man. It's a new day in the country. I just want to be clear about how amazing this is. I honestly think this will have a bigger impact than even if we just like raise the minimum wage. Now I'm 100%
because Biden failed to raise the minimum wage during his presidency. All of a sudden now this rule change will somehow lead to higher wages, and it's better than the minimum wage. So he's covering up for Biden's failures here.
% favor raising the minimum wage. It's the best. It's a phenomenal policy. But I think this will impact workers more. So let's be clear. There is no like comparison or equivalence between Trump and Biden or standard Republican and standard Democrat in this instance. There is no false equivalence. This is like one is good on this front, one is bad. So it's a happy day because all the nihilism and doomerism, you could feel it like.
Is he wearing an Under Armour shirt? He is. What is it? I thought Kyle hated sweat labor and work sweatshops and all that stuff. All of a sudden now he's wearing an Under Armour shirt. Under Armour is infamous for using these sweatshops and stuff. So it's like more hypocrisy coming from Kyle. Big surprise there.
Slowly but surely receding, because there's no standard Democrat in this instance. There is no false equivalence. This is like one is good on this front, one is bad. So it's a happy day because all the nihilism and doomerism, you could feel it like slowly but surely receding.
When and look, and this is speculation on my part, but when he refers to nihilism and doomerism on the left, I think he's referring to RBN. Like, because, he knows about RBN. He has to, even though he's never mentioned RBN once. But I know he has to. He has to know who they are because after the interview with Marianne Williamson, all of a sudden Kyle starts talking about nihilism and doomerism on the left. And so he's definitely referring to RBN there. I mean, because he's still bitter about how they own Marianne Williamson. Carlos says, "Stay away from the brand. Stay away from that brand of shirts." Stay away from that brand of shirt. Oh my god. Let me finish up this video.
Because there's no denying what this is for working people. It's weird for me to even do commentary on the story because I'm so used to being like a doomer all the time. I'm so used to like covering negative story after negative story after negative story. And here we have one that's so positive that like I'm almost at a loss for words. This is legitimately a game changer. We should all be celebrating.
It's a game changer, guys. Definitely a game changer. I think he's referring to Jimmy Dore. Could be. He could be referring to Jimmy Dore too, to be fair. So it's either Jimmy Dore, RBN, or both. I mean, I'm not going to have delusions of grandeur and saying that he's referring to me or INN, but I'm just saying, he definitely, it's either Jimmy Dore, RBN, or both. I mean, I think, yeah, that's that. There's a video of Crystal Ball I've been looking. Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is the one that I was looking for. Neoliberal Tears tweeted this out. Deranged commentary from Crystal Ball, who says the only thing Cornel West and his candidacy will accomplish is helping reelect Donald Trump and hurting the left. And remember, Crystal Ball is just like Kyle Kulinski. She didn't say this 3 years ago in 2020. She's saying the exact opposite, just like Kyle was. And I read that tweet from Kyle. It's very similar to what Crystal Ball said at the time when she was on the Hill or Rising. I don't know why like these changes are going on. I'm waiting for the Kyle versus Angel Thumb wrestling match. Best 3 out of 5. You don't hold your breath on that happening, but
that only thing.
Like, I would love to get in the same stream or the same room as Kyle. I would love it. Be somehow end up on the same stream or the same room or anything like that with Kyle, because I would run circles around him. Just like Nick Cruz, just like CJ from RBN, just like most of INN, just like do dissidents. Like, he would never even be caught dead in a stream with any of us. So, yeah, so let's play this video real quick. It's like 2 minutes, so.
Anything that Cornel West, Dr. West, who I love, admire, respect.
All right, this is the first qualifier that Crystal Ball always says. I love, respect, and Dr. West is my hero. And then she proceeds to criticize and attack him for running as a Green Party member. But that's her first qualifier. There's another qualifier later on. It's coming up.
Only thing that Cornel West, Dr. West, who I love, admire, respect, whose politics I almost wholly and completely share. I think effectively the only thing that his campaign will accomplish is, number one, helping to reelect Donald Trump, and number two, hurting the left. Because ultimately, there's just a poll that came out that showed Biden and Trump basically tied in a head-to-head. You throw Cornel West in, and Trump is winning by like 5 points. And the margin is just exactly the amount that Dr. West takes away from Joe Biden. Now, listen, it's fully on Joe Biden that he needs to do more to appeal to potential Cornel West voters. But let's live in the land of reality of how this is going to work out. They're not going to do that.
Wait.
On Joe Biden that he needs to do more to appeal to potential Cornel West voters. But let's live.
Joe Biden needs to do more to appeal to Cornel West voters. That's another qualifier, because she's like, well, I mean, I'm not criticizing Cornel West. I mean, I said that Joe Biden needs to do something to attract the Cornel West supporters. Joe Biden needs to do more. But then she proceeds the rest of the clip to attack and smear Cornel West for running as a Green Party member.
let's live in the land of reality of how this is going to work out. They're not going to do that. Dr. West will take some percentage, relatively small percentage, away from the Democratic total, and it makes it easier for Donald Trump to get elected. So if your priority is reelecting a Democrat, and if you believe, as I do, that Donald Trump and Joe Biden are not equivalent, that Joe Biden has been better in particular on economics, but also with things like the withdrawal from Afghanistan,
Whoa.
yeah, I think a third-party effort.
The withdrawal from Afghanistan, that was Trump who negotiated that deal with the Taliban. It wasn't Biden. Biden just followed through on it. It was 2019 when Trump negotiated the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan with the Taliban. Again, you could say that, you can make the claim that maybe Donald Trump wouldn't have followed through on that agreement. But at the same time, how do you know? Because he lost. So Biden doesn't get credit for that withdrawal. It's Donald Trump. And anyway, even if Biden does get credit, let's say that happens. Let's say, okay, fine, you give Biden credit. He took all the money we're spending in Afghanistan or spent and sent it to Ukraine. So it makes no difference. You just basically replaced Afghanistan with Ukraine. And we're still in the same, and we're even worse off because we're closer to World War III than there ever was when we were in Afghanistan. So if you tell me either you choose either being in Afghanistan or being in Ukraine, I'd rather stay in Afghanistan. I mean, at this point, because I don't want to be anywhere near the possibility of World War III.
Effort makes it more likely that Donald Trump gets reelected. And the reason why I say I think it will ultimately also hurt the left wing and left principles, if that's what you care about, is we have the model of 2016. Look, the theory in 2016 with Jill Stein was if we withhold our votes from the Democrats, and that's going to force them to the table, we're going to have a voice in the room, they're going to have to come to our side. No, that's not what they did. Instead, they demonized anyone who would have even considered Jill Stein. They used it to demonize the left. They used it to undercut any sort of leftward push. And so while I would love...
Jesus Christ. Multiple things. One, who cares what they did? I mean, honestly, I don't care. This is why everything she said there is the reason why we need to destroy the Democratic Party. I don't really care about what they perceive me as or what they're going to do about it, or, they're going to smear us or whatever. I don't care. I knew a guy who had a blanket fetish. He was in Afghanistan.
Love to imagine that theory of the case would work out. We've seen the reality, and that is not what happens. Now, the place where I profoundly disagree with Bernie Sanders is on his orientation towards the Democratic primary. And there's another section of this where he gets asked specifically about the Democratic primary. And he says, no, I think we need to unify behind Joe Biden because that will be what helps to defeat Donald Trump. Well, that's exactly
And this is the part where Crystal is bitter because just like Kyle, Bernie wouldn't support Marianne Williamson. Instead, he endorsed Joe Biden. So this is the part where Crystal just as bitter as Kyle here. And instead of attacking Cornel, she's attacking Cornel West, but she's also attacking Bernie Sanders here. Because Bernie Sanders had the nerve to endorse Joe Biden over her vanity project, which is Marianne Williamson.
The argument that was used against Bernie Sanders himself.
Yes.
Both in 2016 and again in 2020.
And that's that. Yep. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, it's like she's angry that Bernie Sanders would dare and not endorse Marianne Williamson, her vanity project. Instead, he endorsed Joe Biden. And that's a major problem for Crystal because Crystal was desperate to grift and offer Marianne Williamson in her name. But now, since Bernie didn't endorse her, she's most likely going to end her campaign probably in October, right after her book comes out. She uses campaign funds to buy copies of her book so she can get royalties from it. So another grift and another just embarrassing. But let's see. Saagar also has commentary on this, and it says Saagar was able to channel Crystal of the past, calling out Bernie Trump TPS as the perfect articulation of vote blue no matter who I've ever heard. His dismissal of third parties anti-democratic. So it's a minute.
about as good of an articulation of vote blue no matter who I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit odd because Bernie, nobody asked him or AOC or any of these other people to step in so early and affirmatively endorse Biden. He never did any of that back in 2020. And now he's been effectively, he's been downgraded to some sort of campaign surrogate, openly attacking Cornel West and undermining many of the theories of which he himself ran on for a long time. So, I mean, I can't think of it anything as like, I mean, it's really an outright betrayal of like so much of his life's work and a lot of the people who followed his movement. I mean, not only in order to endorse Biden and not acknowledge any of the third-party candidates, any of the candidate challengers who are running against him, but then to openly dismiss and discourage the idea of third parties, which is directly Cornel West explicitly trying to run against Joe Biden and to force change and to try and get some of his ideas injected into the party of which, and even candidates of which he, long was a defender of. That is literally the definition of democracy. So Bernie's saying that he's endorsing Biden or whatever because of democracy, but also kind of openly trashing the idea of democracy itself by running against Biden. That doesn't make any sense.
So
Nope. Sagar sounding just like Crystal Ball did this 3 years ago. In fact, I think there's a clip down here. Here we go. This is old Crystal Ball from 2020. And when she was on Rising in the Hill.
In the face, signing on for the continuation of an abusive relationship, and most importantly, signing on for a status quo that has brought millions of Americans economic, emotional, and physical ruin. And their whole strategy rests on the assumption that in spite of your protestations and gnashing of teeth on Twitter, you will in fact fall in line. Sure, progressive groups issued a list of demands, but Biden's not going to take any of those seriously because no one's making him take them seriously. These groups have already pledged to vote for him and organize the youth vote. Why? Because as Mehdi says, what other choice do you have? But in fact, there is another choice. It's the choice that centrists wield very effectively, like a battle axe, all the time. Centrists and their corporate allies are constantly coddled and constantly pandered to and have won all the power in America because they are willing to withhold their votes. Maybe we'll be with you, maybe we won't. And the reality confronting leftists right now is that while it may be ugly and you will 100% be hated, I can promise you that, there is no actual power that doesn't involve being willing to wield the power that you have. There will be no concessions granted out of kindness. And if the GOP's central driving force right now is owning the libs, the Dems' central driving force right now is to own the left. Don't let Obama's nice words or Bernie's castigating.
Yep. That's old Crystal Ball there. Past Crystal Ball. So, let's see. Is there anything else? So it continues. There's multiple clips of Crystal Ball, saying that stuff from 2020. So let's do that. Here we go. So I'm probably going to start wrapping up now because I'm tired. I'm already been sitting for a couple of hours and doing stuff. So I have other stuff to have to do today. It's my birthday and I have things I want to do. I want to eat. So I want to thank everybody for joining me on my birthday here. I hope everyone has a great weekend. I know I will because I probably won't be here anymore. I'll be with my girlfriend. I hope everybody else has a great weekend though, and I'm going to see you guys next week at most likely it'll end up being Friday because I'll be going back to Fridays next week. The only reason why I did it today was because of my birthday. So I wanted to, do it today instead of tomorrow. Most likely I won't be here tomorrow morning, so tomorrow afternoon, which I usually stream. So that's why I did it today. So I want to thank everyone for joining me very much. Got to use this. It obviously works well. I mean, no complaints from anybody. So I'm going to see you guys next week. And I'll be on Twitter. In fact, you know what? Let me do a shameless plug here while I do that. Follow me on Twitter or X, whatever the hell it's called. There's the links right there if you haven't already. And I thank you very much. I hope you guys, I will have a great birthday and I will, enjoy it. And I'll see you guys. Oh, yeah, I will take care of that right now. It's still kind of hurting me and bothering me. So until next week, I'll see you guys. And I say goodbye. I know that made no sense the way it came out. But yeah, goodbye and have a nice